From Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida Field in Gainesville, Florida, Sun Sports presents Florida Gator football today. It's the Gators at home against the Catamounts of Western Carolina. 2 of 21 seniors in their final home game. Chris Leak, Ray McDonald, a special day every year here in Gainesville. And a very pleasant good afternoon to you. Along with Nat Moore, I'm Larry Vitale. Glad to have you with us for Florida and Western Carolina on Senior Day, Nat. A special day for these guys, last time in the Swamp.
Well, you said it right, Larry. It's the last time. It's the last time to hear the cheers from the people that supported them for the last 4 years. Offensively, you got the big three, Chris Leak, Deshaun Wynn, and Dallas Baker. Defensively, you've got Earl Everett and Ray McDonald, the big two on defense. This is the last opportunity, and this is an opportunity to shine for the last time in the Swamp.
And the Gators want the defense to shine today, and they're going to be challenged with their run defense. A pretty good tailback in Darius Fudge.
Well, Darius Fudge is a guy that's got good size at 200 pounds. You know, he has good speed. He's had 5 ball games where he's went over 100 yards. He's had 2 others where he's been over 90. This guy will test that Gator defense this afternoon.
And let's take a look at the storylines we'll be following throughout the game today for the Gators. This is a day to get healthy, get ready for the stretch run of FSU in the SEC championship game. The Florida Gators also want to put points on the board. They haven't scored 30 since the second week of the season. That's 8 games ago. And the Florida Gators want to defend the Swamp. Since Urban Meyer arrived, the Gators have not lost in front of the home folks. They certainly don't want to see that happen today. So that's the way it shapes up. The Florida Gators 9-1. Western Carolina is 2-8. Back with the start of the game on Sun Sports. Sun Sports is brought to you in part by your Southern Chevy dealers. Visit us today to find out why Chevy is America's #1 brand, #1 value. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by Shands, UF and Shands, the science of hope. Well, the Western Carolina Catamounts won their first 2 games. They've lost 8 since. The Gators 9-1, trying to get their 10th victory of the season this afternoon at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field. A good crowd on hand. Kind of a late arriving crowd, but that's not a surprise with a 12 noon start. But they're going to have plenty of energy, a lot of excitement about the seniors playing their last game, but it's their last chance to come out and see what's going on with their Gators in person. Western Carolina, under the direction of Coach Kent Briggs, this is his 4th year. Up in Western Carolina University. He has a record of 21-32. This has been a tough year for them. They have really been beaten up by injuries all season long, come in here having used a bunch of quarterbacks, and that will continue. And Urban Meyer, the head coach of the Florida Gators, look at that record, 18-4 and unbeaten in 12 games here at the Swamp. His second season as the coach of the Gators, and has Florida State, the SEC championship game, as well as a bowl game to look forward to. So it'll end up being a long 2 years, 25 games in 2 years for Urban Meyer as the head coach of the Florida Gators. So the Gators will kick off. They won the toss and deferred. So they will go on defense to start this ball game, and the Gators will kick off with Joey Ihas, who took over the kickoff duties during the course of this season and has been pretty consistent in that role. Not often a touchback, only 4 in 36 kicks. And Mike Malone, the guy they would like to return it. Willie Harper also usually back deep for the Catamounts. Western Carolina just trying to have something positive to end the season with. The Gators, of course, trying to continue their momentum and head for the big games coming up. And here we go in the Swamp. Ihas with a driving kick will be taken about 4 yards deep, and Malone will kneel down right there. So it's touchback number 5 for Ihas. Let's check in with Steve Babick down on the sidelines.
This past Wednesday following practice, Urban Meyer announced that Jarvis Moss would be suspended for this game for a violation of university and team rules. Now, Jarvis Moss, obviously a big player on the defensive line, had a big block last week. If everything goes well, he'll be reinstated for next week's game against Florida State, but no Jarvis Moss available for today's game with Western Carolina.
Moss, a junior from Denton, Texas, has been playing awfully well for the Gators of late. They'll miss him this afternoon. Western will put it up in the air. The first play is a completed pass, and Reggie Lewis drops the receiver for about a 3 or 4 yard loss. Andy Horn is the starting quarterback. That was his first collegiate play. He's a second-year guy from Charlotte, North Carolina, actually transferred from West Virginia Wesleyan University. But they are so beaten up at quarterback. This was the 5th guy when the season began. He's starting at the University of Florida against the nation's 3rd-ranked team. Hello. Starting lineups after this play. On 2nd down, little delay. And got the loss back, and that's all we've got. The starting lineups are brought to you by Checkers, the official burger of the Florida Gators. Check out the offense for the Catamounts. The best guy up front is Marcus Thomas, the left tackle. They think he has a chance to maybe get into camp and prove himself at the next level. Deaver, Wiggins, the other guys there in the middle. And Fudge, the running back, he's a good one. Hines and Cohen are busy wide receivers, and they will go to the tight end, L.J. Davis, on occasion. Not a lot. He's caught just 7 passes. Hines is the main go-to guy with 58 receptions on the season. There was a flag on that play. Gators may have lined up offside, so instead of it being 3rd and about 10, it'll be 2nd and 9. Ball on the 21-yard line. On the delay, that's the running back Fudge, and he gets up to about the 24-yard line as we check out the defense for the Florida Gators. Their Checkers starting lineup, and up front it's Harvey, Harris, Cohen, and Ray McDonald. 3 seniors along with Derek Harvey. Brian Crump, Brandon Spikes, the youngster, and Dustin Doe, 2 freshmen getting in there right away for the Gators. And the secondary's been steady all season long for Coach Urban Meyer and the defensive coordinators, Greg Madison and Charlie Strong. 3rd down play. They need about 6. Horn throws the hook route, juggled, and falls incomplete. Trying to hook up to make a catch was Eddie Cohen, but excellent coverage, and they'll have to punt.
Nice job that time by Tremaine McCullough, coming around with that outside arm, the left arm, and snatching that ball out of the hands of Eddie Cohen. Good throw by Andy Horn for his actual 2nd throw of his career. You know, I talked with the SID, and they were telling me that Andy Cohen was actually a walk-on.
High punt comes down about the 32-yard line. Here's Jacobs looking for running room. Gets away. Steps out. There's a flag thrown around the 45-yard line. And Jacobs gets it down to the 42. So Brandon Jacobs had a nice return there of 30 yards or so, but we'll see about the flag on that play. They're almost always against the return team, and this one will be as well.
During the return, illegal block in the back, number 34, the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. 1st down.
So the penalty on the Gators will move it back. So instead of having the ball in Western Carolina territory, they'll be starting at the 35. We have timeout on the field here at the Swamp. Gators in Western Carolina just underway. It was a 3-and-out for Western Carolina. They punted, and the Florida Gators will start at their own 35-yard line with their first offensive opportunity. The Gators led by senior quarterback Chris Leak out of Charlotte, North Carolina. The numbers on the year, 2,157 yards, 63.6% completions, 18 TDs, 11 interceptions. He's thrown 83 touchdowns in his Gator career and has passed for over 10,000 yards. And the Gators will go with a screen to Dallas Baker. Baker runs through a possible tackle and tripped up inside the 40. Got about 6 yards, but lost his shoe in the process. And the Gators will have a 2nd down and 4. Starting lineup for the Gators brought to you by Checkers, the official burger of the Gators up front. Steve Rissler, the lone senior in that group, and the backs and receivers Wynn, Baker, Cornelius, Caldwell, and Casey. The first 3 guys left to right, all seniors as well. And Riley Cooper has just checked in as a receiver for the Gators on 2nd down and 4 from the 41. Deshaun Wynn hit at the 40, fights, and he can't get anywhere. He'll lose maybe a couple of yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd down for the Gators. Western Carolina defensively, they've had some issues this season, trying to get healthy all over the place. Drumgoole, Singletary probably the best of the bunch. Kadeem Morgan, the linebacker, makes a lot of plays along with Shelton Gaffney. And in the secondary, Miko Watson, Antoine George Brown, and Lee, the back four for Western Carolina. So now the Gators on third down, trying to move the chains. Leak with no pressure and completes a pass near the 50-yard line to Bubba Caldwell. Andre Caldwell makes the catch and will be marked out of bounds at about the 47-yard line.
Well, anytime you give Chris Leak this kind of time, they come with a three-man rush, and that, without a doubt, will get no pressure on Chris Leak. He's able to step up and get a lot of zip on this football. Knows he only needs about 5 yards, able to get the ball to Caldwell for the first down.
So they'll mark it at officially the 48 for a first down for the Gators. They fake it to win again. Leak with time, is about to run out of time and overshoots Deshaun Wynn. Let's check out the keys to the game, brought to you by Chevrolet, America's #1 brand, #1 value.
Well, for the Florida Gators, if for the West Carolina University, you want to establish the run. You want to try and get Darius Fudge off early, take some pressure off the quarterback. And you need some takeaways. You need some big plays. Need a short field against this Gator defense. And for the Gators, you want to put some points on the board. You haven't scored over 30 points since the second ball game. And then also on defense, you want to shut down the run and force the quarterback to try and beat you. Andy Horn.
On 2nd and 10, it'll be another three-man rush. There's Harbin. Percy inside the 40. Down close to the 36-yard line as the freshman from Virginia Beach shows that speed.
And Larry, starting about 2-3 weeks ago, they start as soon as Percy Harbin got healthy, they start running these drag routes, and this is where you bring him all the way across the field. Chris Leak looks the defense off, and he knows he's got Percy coming in underneath. Get him the football because he's going to outrun all of those linebackers and most of the DBs.
They mark it at the 37. Gators with back-to-back first downs, trying to get into scoring range. Florida will throw a pass out in the far left to Cornelius. Jermail Cornelius spun out of bounds. The senior from Fort Meade looks like first down yardage as he gets it inside the 27-yard line.
Nat and Larry, keep an eye on Chris Leak and the Gator offense. They're working with a silent count. You'll watch Chris Leak. He'll slap his hands when he wants the ball. But in preparation for next week's game in Tallahassee, the Gators all week in practice and now in this first drive have been working with a silent count on offense.
A little confusion on the Gators' part. Deshaun Wynn started to come out of the ball game. They had to send him back in there, Larry.
Yeah, they got Jason Watkins in as a tight end and wearing number 89. There's a big hole. Deshaun hurdles a man to the 10. Touchdown, Deshaun Wynn.
And Larry, I'll have to say, I think that Deshaun Wynn is pretty happy that they sent him back in. You know, he's coming out and they call his play right up the middle, get a good trap block, and then he splits the defense. Nice job of hurdling the safety and getting into the end zone.
Well, an issue with the Gator running backs has been making people miss. Well, if you can't make them miss to the left or right, see if they can miss below. And he did it that time. Extra point kick is good. And the Florida Gators have a 7-0 lead. Opening drive goes 65, and the Gators have the lead. 10:20 to play. Opening quarter in Gainesville. Sun Sports is brought to you in part by the Alachua County Visitors and Convention Bureau, where nature and culture meet. And by K&G Superstores, K&G Fashion Superstore, for men for less. Urban Meyer, 12-0, coaching in the Swamp. The Gators have won their last 14 home games coming into this one. And his offense resting on the sideline after a nice drive for a touchdown run by Deshaun Wynn.
Well, whenever you are able to run that ball up the middle, you get great blocking. This is your tackle, Carlton Metter. Watch the guard, and then watch Billy Lasco, the fullback. Watch the blocking of those three guys. Perfect job by the tackle, Carlton Metter, doubling off, and then Deshaun Wynn does the rest as he jumps over Miko Watson and gets into the end zone. But great blocking at the point of attack by the left guard, the right tackle, and the fullback.
Ehas with a shorter low kick, bounces through one of the return men, and they better get to it in the end zone before it bounces out again, but it does not. And it'll be again a 20-yard line starting position for Western Carolina, and lefty quarterback Andy Horn, who's seeing his first collegiate action today against the University of Florida. You would think he would like to get his coach's attention, say, you know, Coach, you might want to think about maybe breaking me in against someone like Liberty or Chowan or one of those schools on the schedule. And now we may see the wide receiver J.C. Brown play quarterback, and if they do, they'll go to a little bit of an option attack.
Yeah, they're hurting at that quarterback position. They've got so many people banged up when you look at what they expect to start the season with, and that you're down to a walk-on as your starter.
Oh, fudge. I had to say that at least once. Got about a yard. There's J.C. Brown.
Now, one of the things that the Gators would like to work on is they like to get a good lead, get some of these young guys some more playing time. With the loss of Marcus Thomas earlier in the year, you lost Javier Estepinen. The tackle position is very, very lean at this point, and Ray McDowell, who's been playing some tackle, had to move back out to the defensive end because of Jarvis Moss being suspended today. So
today we'll see more of Brandon Antwine, Clint McMillan, maybe Latrell Alford, who's a walk-on. Snap gets away, and just falling on it, J.C. Brown back at the 9-yard line. So they will lose about a dozen on that play and be faced with 3rd and over 20.
Already they put J.C. Brown in at the quarterback position to get an errant snap from the center, and he wisely just gets on the football. Kevin Wiggins snaps it to his left and low. J.C. Brown not able to handle the snap, gets on the football, takes the loss.
Brown did play a couple of plays at quarterback last year, hasn't done any of it this year. But he was a high school quarterback. Completed 15 touchdown passes his senior year. Gators will blitz. The flag comes out. I don't think they got the play off in time. So 3rd and 21 will become 3rd and about 25 and a half as they take it half the distance.
There is no foul on the play. The coach for the head coach for Western Carolina called timeout before the play clock.
Okay. So save the 4 yards, give up the timeout will be the decision. So timeout called by Western Carolina. We'll take a break here from Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida Field. Deshaun Wynn has given the Gators the lead, hurtling his way to the end zone.
Take your taste to a different place. Take your taste to Dixie Crossroads.
The one and only Dixie Crossroads is now 2 and only, with our 2nd location now open at Festival Bay in Orlando. Now you can take your taste to either one of our restaurants for a mouth-watering treat that will pleasure your palate and your pocketbook. So bring the whole family and enjoy.
Take your taste to a different place. Take your taste to Dixie Crossroads.
Nestled in the heart of Florida, there's a place unique in all the world, where majestic oaks sway and stage shows swing, where it's as much about the wildlife as it is about the nightlife. A place where families gather to watch alligators while fans unite to root for Florida Gators. Gainesville, Alachua County, where nature and culture meet. Visit our website today and start planning your vacation in Gainesville, Alachua County, where nature and culture meet.
I am so into you. I can't think of nothing else. I am so into you.
Roger, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
I am so into you.
Texas Pete Hot Sauce. It's the bottle with the cowboy.
Also try Texas Pete Buffalo Wing Sauce.
I am a pillar of strength.
I'm eye candy.
I'm cool under fire.
I'm energy efficient.
I'm hip.
I am the calm in the eye of the storm.
I'm sexy.
I am a fortress.
If your walls could talk, what would they say? Assuming they're built with concrete block, they'd say they're energy efficient, termite, fire, and storm resistant. Life's better with block. Just ask your builder.
Rated M for mature. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. Mad world, mad world.
The Gators up 7-0, 8:23 to play here in the opening quarter from Gainesville. Let's check in on the field. Steve Babick with news on a Gator senior.
Well, earlier in that first drive, and it may have even been the first play, Dallas Baker must have twisted a left knee because they've got him out. They looked at that left knee. They've got an ice bag on it. Hopefully it's just a small twinge or a slight twist. We'll see if we can get more information on it. But Dallas Baker, who's had a tremendous senior season, boy, you hate to lose him in a game like this when you got those games looming at Florida State and obviously in Atlanta. But right now, Dallas Baker out, icing down that left knee.
Dallas just went over the 2,100-yard mark in career receiving yards for the Florida Gators and will continue to add to that total because the FSU game, the SEC championship game, and the bowl game will all count in your career stats, which was not the case for many, many years in college sports.
And he's had a phenomenal year this year. He just played as well as you could hope that any senior would play.
Darius Fudge might have gotten back to the line of scrimmage and maybe a yard beyond that, but that's all. Plenty of defense there, including Dustin Doe. I really like Dustin Doe from Jasper, Florida. Played high school football, finished up at Live Oak, Swanee. He's a good-looking young linebacker.
Well, Gators a little late getting off the football, but disrupting the blocking scheme, and this allows Dustin Doe from his linebacker position to scrape outside and make the tackle. You know, nobody gets a hat on him, so it's kind of easy for him to just float to the football and get Darius Fudge on the ground.
Second punt for the Catamounts. And they bump him, no flag. Brandon James at the 42's got running room. James to the 40, and he's dragged down at the 30-yard line. Brandon James from St. Augustine with a great return.
And the impressive part about that long return, Larry, there's no flags. Seems like every time Brandon James makes a big play, you get a penalty call. This young man does a nice job of handling the football. You know, very relaxed. You know, sets up his blocking, and then he sees a gap. He's got that speed. He just takes off. Good blocking by the Gator return team, but this young man is exciting, and we'll put some into the end zone before it's all over.
And a great non-block by Jermaine McCullum, the senior, the McCullum twin brothers. He was right there to give a guy a shove in the back, backed off, let James make the man miss, and let the play count. A 28-yard return. Deshaun Wynn barrels ahead, maybe a yard, as they stuffed up the middle of the line that time. Defensively did the Catamounts. Number 43, Kadeem Morgan. He's a freshman from Asheville, North Carolina. Has made a lot of tackles for them this year.
Well, this is a team that, because of all the injuries, is forced to play a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomores, and you know, this is only going to help them in the future, Larry. When you look at it, the fact that they're getting this playing experience against a good football team like Florida should help them next year.
Riley Cooper in motion. Leak looking, throws deep down the middle for the same guy that was in motion, and Riley Cooper couldn't bring it in. Oh, what a chance he had for his first catch.
Well, and it actually looks like at some point he starts to slow down because he's so wide open, and Chris Leak is trying to get it to him in a hurry, so he guns it. And this ball is just off his fingertips. You know, you got to keep running and believe. See, right here, all he's got to do is keep running to the football. He starts to work away from the football, and therefore he's not able to get both hands on it.
I never had to worry about slowing down when I was wide open. Leak steps up, takes the short man. That's Jamel Cornelius. He goes ahead close to the 25-yard line, or rather the 15. They'll mark him down at the 16, but that'll be enough for a Florida first down.
And Larry, what Chris Leak is now doing a better job of, which he wasn't doing earlier during the year, when he catches this zone defense, he's taking that drag route coming across, getting the ball into the speedy receiver's hands, allowing them to catch it and get upfield for the first down instead of trying to throw for the first down, allowing them to catch it and run for the first down.
Riley Cooper, Lewis Murphy spread to the right. Here's Harvin. Percy has the end around. There's a flag on the play. It's Harvin still on his feet inside the 10-yard line. We'll see what the flag's all about. Harvin, who's run for over 200 yards and caught passes for over 200 yards this season, and comes up a little gimpy. Been battling an ankle injury since the third week of the season. Re-aggravated it against South Carolina.
Illegal formation against the offense. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
So instead of the gain, it'll be back at the 21-yard line where Florida will have a first and 15. Cornelius Caldwell and Riley Cooper, the Gator receivers.
Riley Cooper getting a chance to play a little bit because of Dallas Baker's injury.
Leak rolling, will throw it out there to Bubba Caldwell. Caldwell got the 5 penalty yards and a couple more as he fought his way. Looks like he got inside the 15.
All right, winning football is all about decision making, making the right decision. And that time, as Chris Leak comes out on the roll, he's actually trying to get the ball down the field to the deeper receiver, but it's held off. He finally decides, you know, rather than wait on it much longer, let's get the ball in the hands of Bubba Caldwell. Let's see if he can make a big play, take the positive play with a chance to line up on the next play and get the first down.
Gators on second down. Leak will try to keep, can't go anywhere. He's dragged down by Darren Curtis. And it'll be third and about 10.
You bring Caldwell in motion and you try and fake it in. Curtis is not fooled. He sees the ball goes into the fullback, but has great vision on the football. Sees Chris Leak pull it out and reacts back out, makes the play. Chris never had a chance to pitch the football that time.
Curtis, a junior from Raleigh, North Carolina, making the play, and the Gators have third and 10 at the Western Carolina 16 as we near the 4-minute mark to go in the opening quarter. Leak with good protection, another drag route, and stumbling short of the first down. Trying to make a move was Percy Harvin, and he couldn't. That ankle may be bothering him as he couldn't make a cut, and the Gators left fourth and about a yard.
Well, as Percy starts to drag across the field, you'll see that bad ankle. I think it's the left ankle just gives out on him, and he falls forward. But you know what you'd like to see him do is turn up and split him. You know, he just he couldn't really plant on that left ankle.
So the Gators have Tate Casey in along with Jason Watkins as double tight ends. 3 running backs on 4th and 1. Deshaun Wynn, first down. Deshaun Wynn. The Gators signal touchdown. The officials do not. It'll be first and goal.
Well, tell you what, I don't know how it's not a touchdown, because you know the one thing in football, until your knees touch the ground, and it looked like Deshaun Wynn was still on top of the actual tackler right here. He never touches the ground. So tough call.
Replay may take a look at that one.
That's a tough call there, because you see right here he's never on the ground. He's on top of somebody. The ball comes out, then he recovers it himself. Here's another look. Good blocking at the point of attack. Continues to move those legs, gets into the end zone. Ball comes out, but his entire body is stretched across the goal line, as Drew Miller was the guard that led him through.
You know, watch him grab onto Drew Miller and say, "Not so fast, big guy." I'm not quite ready for that block.
Well, when you get down in tough quarters like this, Larry, the thing they teach you is to tuck in behind those big linemen, and if worst case scenario, just push him forward. That time Drew Miller ran off and left him. Yeah.
See there, ball comes out and Miller and Wynn are there, and
they both recover the football. So either way, it's Florida's ball. Just a question of whether they ruled him down, and did his knee ever touch the ground? See right here, he's on top of the defenders, so he's never really touched the ground.
So is our replay official Nat Moore reversing the call?
It was a touchdown before, but
call on the field that he was down short of the goal line.
Yep.
And while you can't see the knees while he's laying on the guy, it's if you know basic anatomy, you know his knees had to be pointed up if his back's on a would-be tackler.
No, I mean, at some point, your body or your knees must touch the ground.
Coaches looking on.
The ball actually comes out. I'm a big...
After review of the play, there was video evidence to show that the runner was in the end zone before he was down. Touchdown.
There you go.
Well, as I started to say, Larry, I'm a big fan of instant replay, especially when they get it right. With that carry,
Deshaun Wynn with the touchdown for the Florida Gators. So Wynn with 2 TDs now has 24 in his Gator career. 4 years of never really being totally the guy, but this year they're turning more in. Eric Nappy gets a chance to kick the extra point, and for the 3rd time in his career, he connects. So the senior from Buchholz High School gets on the scoreboard. And the Florida Gators have 2 possessions and 2 touchdowns in this opening quarter and lead 14-0. Still 2:50 to play. As we get another look at Deshaun Wynn getting in the end zone.
And this is just great blocking over that left side. They come with the triple I, and he just tucks in behind Drew Miller and gets into the end zone. But outstanding blocking by the entire offensive line of the Gators this time. They're going up, Larry, against a undersized defensive line. The defensive line averages about 252 pounds, and when you start laying on them with those big 300-pounders, pretty soon that wears them down. They're giving up over, defensively, they're giving up over 200 yards a ball game. The Catamounts are, and I expect to see Florida run the football quite a bit today.
Well, the Gator women's basketball season is underway, and women's season tickets are available to you. If you want to see some of the best teams in the country as they come to the O-Dome and battle the Florida Gators, you can do so for just $25 for the entire season. For ticket information on Gator events, call 1-800-34-GATOR. And congratulations to Deshaun Wynn, as we just showed, 2,000 career yards with that touchdown run. The 13th Gator to reach the 2,000-yard mark. Higher but shorter kick, much shorter, taken by an up man at about the 15-yard line. And Western Carolina, after starting twice right on the 20, will get about 8 more yards of field position to start off their 3rd possession of the ball game. Joey Ijas not going to be happy with that kickoff. Just go down to the field and check in with Steve Babbitt.
Well, the Gators came in banged up and bruised. No Brandon Seiler, he's being held out. Earl Everett went through senior day, but with that ankle, he's being held out. Let's take a look at some other names, too. Jamil Cornelius with the shoulder. You got Joe Cohen with the bad elbow. Of course, Ray McDonald's knees. Percy Harvin with the bad ankle. You've got a lot of guys on that list that you've got to keep an eye on this game.
Brandon James ran pretty good on that punt return with a sore ankle. And the Gators do want to come out of this game healthy for those big 2 coming up. Pass broken up. There's big Brandon Spike. I just love Brandon Spikes. He's going to be a heck of a player.
Outstanding middle linebacker. The heir apparent to the throne when Brandon Seiler is no longer around, but he does a nice job of actually covering J.C. Brown, a wide receiver. Here's another look at the guys that are not playing here today, but he could be replacing next year. Hopefully Brandon Seiler will be back. He's just a junior, but Earl Everett will be leaving as a senior, and who knows, Brandon Seiler at the middle linebacker. Spikes at the weak side linebacker. Heck of a tandem.
Running right side, a little bit of room there for Fudge. And he gets it up to about the 34-yard line, so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 5.
You know, guys, the good thing about this week at practice, they were able to anticipate with Seiler being held out and Earl Everett's ankle not being 100%. Right away, they had Dustin Doe and Spikes working at that linebacker spot. So these guys have had 3 days of good practice to get ready. And down the road, it's a long, long season. 4 games to be played. You know these guys will get a lot more action.
Absolutely. Now the Gators on 3rd and 5 get ready defensively. Pass is thrown, and there's the initial 1st down of the day for the Catamounts. And it's caught by fullback Joe Clark-Deer.
Joe Clark-Deer sneaked out of the backfield that time. The Gators come with pressure. Stephen Harris actually hits Andy Horn in the mouth just as he's releasing the football. Little tackle game. And he comes totally free, but not before the ball's in the hands of Joe Clark-Deer, excuse me, for the 1st down.
And they're in Florida territory at the 49-yard line. Right up the Fudge is drilled short of midfield. Dustin Doe.
Listen to the hit. There you see Dustin Doe getting his first true action. I'm talking about real action. He's been in on a couple plays, but nothing to the magnitude of the work he's going to get today, Larry.
It's a great opportunity for the young players today if the Gators execute. You get a lot of guys more time than they've had in another game. False start. Saw the left tackle, their best offensive lineman, Marcus Thomas, trying to get a head start. And that'll move the ball back another 5.
Prior to the snap, false start. Number 63 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
The Gators would probably love to sub even more than they'll be able to. Just not enough guys ready, and players you want a red shirt. You don't want to waste that at this point. Came close to using Lawrence Marsh, a defensive lineman, last week, chose not to, and then Lawrence breaks his hand at practice on Monday. He's going to be a good one. I think people are going to be excited to see him play next year.
Well, the big thing is whatever you do, you don't want to waste an opportunity.
Fudge picking his way through traffic in the Gator defense, and he ends up turning nothing into a nice gain of almost 10 yards, taking it down to the 46-yard line. And that will be the end of the opening quarter here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida Field. It's the Swamp, and it's senior day. 21 Gator seniors playing for the final time in front of the home crowd. Dallas Baker injured early. We'll check on his status as we go through it. But Urban Meyer still unbeaten in this building, and he wants to keep it that way. 2nd quarter action next on Sun Sports. Some of the crowd here at the Swamp. Beautiful day in north central Florida. Very comfortable temperatures for most of us. And not a cloud in the sky. Great weather for Florida and Western Carolina. Well, a lot of people contribute to the University of Florida program in a lot of ways. And Betty Ling has been involved in the Gator program for 27 years. Thus the number as she is retiring. Betty very active in the recruiting office for many years, coordinating the visits, getting the plane tickets, the hotels, all that, the logistics for the coaches so they can focus on stuff like X's and O's and winning championships. So congratulations to Betty for all of her years of service to the Gators through a number of coaches, obviously. If you add up the 27 years, you're talking about Charlie Pell, Galen Hall, Gary Darnell, Steve Spurrier, Ron Zook, and now Urban Meyer. Back to action as we start the 2nd quarter. It'll be a 3rd down play for the Catamounts. Andy Horn back to throw. Hit as he delivers, and it's incomplete. Ryan Smith all over J.C. Brown.
Derek Harvey applying the pressure on Andy Horn, hits him just as he's releasing the football. Gators don't have a sack as of yet, but they have put some good licks on the redshirt freshman quarterback, Andy Horn, which normally takes a toll as you get later in the ball game.
Especially a guy who hasn't been through it. His first college action. They don't hit like this on the practice field, do they, Andy? Here's a punt from Macy. And Brandon James will field it at the 11. He'll run with it. James has 10. Still on his feet. Spins down at about the 27-yard line. And the Gators will have pretty good field position on a 17-yard return by Brandon James. We want to say a big congratulations to Dale Parker, a Gator fan from Seffner, Florida, for winning SunTrust's big game tailgate and tickets for 20 sweepstakes. Dale and 19 of his friends are headed to Tallahassee for the big Florida State game next week, and they're going to have themselves a great time courtesy of SunTrust. SunTrust, a proud sponsor of University of Florida athletics. You know, I started to apply for that app, and they said you had to prove you had 20 friends, and I was like 18 short. Jared Faison running quarterback, and the freshman wide receiver, who is an outstanding quarterback at Hillsborough High School in Tampa, takes it up the field for 21 yards.
Well, this is a play where you like to just get the ball here. Watch Faison. He's going to fake this way and come right back here as he gets good blocking, steps left, and gets behind Billy Latsko, and then watch him just read his blocks, turns on the speed. He's headed for the goal line. If it's not for a great diving tackle by Miko Watson, he's into the end zone as he goes for 26 yards on that carry.
Watson, the leading tackler in the secondary for Western Carolina's, had to make a lot of plays like that over the course of the year. Faison stays in. It'll be another keeper. This time he only gets about 4 yards, while Phil Troutwine loses his helmet. They mark it down at the 42-yard line, so got about 4 on the play. It'll be second down. Cornelius Ingram checks in along with Keyston Moore.
Well, when you look at the youth and the development of the future, you know, Chris Leak is a senior. He'll be leaving. You turn around, you say, okay, well, we got Tim Tebow, but who's behind Tim Tebow? Now you're looking at Jared Faison, showing you that he can not only play wide receiver, but he can also play that quarterback position effectively here.
As his senior year in high school, he ran for over 900 and passed for over 800 yards. Bounces off tacklers, goes forward for a first down, and a gain of 10 yards.
The thing about Jared Faison is they gave him some plays back in the open week. They really started to train him as the backup to the backup. They want to make sure they had somebody. And then this past week, they gave him more than just running plays. So he's been able to run the speed option and actually a couple pass plays for number 11 should they need to go that route.
Well, I don't know that they'll need to, but they may want to.
Well, we just saw the open field ability as far as running with the football. He's a natural tailback playing quarterback, that just a good athlete.
Chris Leak in the game, fakes the screen pass, throws for Cornelius. Jamail cuts inside at the 10, gets to the 8-yard line. The Gators will have it first and goal.
Well, we saw this play earlier in the year where you fake as if you're going to throw the bubble screen or the quick screen, and then you throw it to the would-be blocker. He fakes the block, and then he just releases downfield. You get a good clear out by Bubba Caldwell, and Jamel Cornelius comes wide open down to the 8-yard line.
Chris Leak has been sharp throwing the ball, had one misfire on a pass to Deshaun Wynn, and almost had a touchdown to Riley Cooper that Cooper couldn't pull in. See if the Gators, who've run for 2, can throw for 1 here. Leak wants to. Rolling right, he's got a man too high. Riley Cooper was there, but he would have to have been a little bit more like Manute Bol to pull that one in.
Well, you know, you hear me talk about decision making right there. You know, Chris Leak would like to throw some touchdown passes, but that's one, Larry. I think he could have got into the end zone if he pulls it down and he takes off. We've seen him run with the football. He had 2 touchdowns rushing in 1 ball game. Right here, you know, he sees Cooper in the back of the end zone. He tries to lob it up over to him, but that's a dangerous pass if you try and fit it in. You're almost better taking off and running it for the touchdown.
Also saw the linebacker Shelton Gaffney coming at him. Riley Cooper, touchdown.
Well, you tried once and Cooper can't catch it. You tried twice and you overthrow him. You say, well, you know what? The third time is the lucky charm as Chris Leak comes back to Riley Cooper, who's sitting over on the sideline as the outlet route. The Catamounts actually tried to play a zone defense, tried to shrink the field and see if they could force Chris Leak to make a mistake. This time he comes off to the right guy.
Riley Cooper from Clearwater Central Catholic. His first catch as a Gator is a touchdown. The extra point is blocked, and they will not try to run it out. So Eric Nappy, who made an extra point earlier, does not make this one. About the only blemish on the Gators scorecard today, a blocked extra point. Early in the second, the Gators up 20.
This is the best time of the year, and it's only at your Toyota dealer. It's Toyotathon, the perfect time to save on many of the Toyotas you've been wishing for. Get a great deal on Toyota's biggest truck ever, the Tundra Double Cab. Now get $4,000 cash back, plus the XSP Sport Package discount for a total savings of $6,000 on the 2006 Tundra Double Cab. The Toyotathon year-end sales event. Hurry, time is running out.
Come to the Checkers left side drive-thru for the Gators combo meal. When you eat, the Gators win. Like in 1997, when you ate them to victory!
Go Gators!
No, come to the right side for the Knowles combo meal. Remember 2003? Knowles fans out-ate the competition.
Oh no!
Go!
Get your Gators or Knowles combo at Checkers. A half-pound double champ with cheese, large fries, and a large drink. For each one you buy, we'll donate to your school. See who's ahead at seewho'sahead.com. The more you eat, the more they'll win.
Would you believe these animations were not created by the professionals in California, but by the animation students at the Academy in Tampa? When you train by actually doing, it doesn't take long before you're designing new worlds for games and movies, or creating the characters who live in those worlds. You can train for a career in animation at the Academy, and before you know it, you could be the professional animator.
For a complimentary career guide, call 888-869-0111. That's 888-869-0111. Call now.
Florida Gators leading 20-0 over Western Carolina, and for that guy, a historic moment. Chris Leak, it's old hand. It's his 84th touchdown, but Riley Cooper's first.
Well, West Carolina comes out and they're trying to play a zone defense. Watch these two guys. They're going to be affected by Bubba Caldwell, who's going to run this route right here. Then what you want is you've got a in and then you sit it down on the sideline. Now watch how beautiful this play is drawn up and watch how it affects the defense. You want both guys drop off. They're affected by Bubba Caldwell. Riley Cooper is wide open. He just has to step into the end zone. Couldn't be a better drawn up play by that Gator offensive staff than that one. And of course, Chris Leak says, I've got me another touchdown pass. And second all time in Gator history. I think that's his, what, 84?
84 of them.
84, man, let me see. I had to play 13 years to get 74. He's done it in 4 years as a quarterback.
Kick taken to the 15 and then hit and dropped just short of the 20-yard line. Good kick coverage again for the Florida Gators. There's Wandy Pierre-Louis down on the coverage for Florida. Wandy's a guy will get in the mix of battle for corners playing time next year with Reggie Lewis, a senior. One job will be open. Ryan Smith returns for his senior season. And you'll have guys like Marquis Anderson and Wandy Pierre-Louis, Jacques Rickerson, who's redshirting, will get in the mix for that job. From the 19, Andy Horn and the Catamount offense goes to work. Fudge gets spread across the 18-yard line.
Gators defensive line is actually dominating the line of scrimmage. You know, Darius Fudge haven't been able to get much yardage this afternoon, but I tell you what, Larry, he's a good one. He's shown he can make people miss. Some of the runs he's had just to get back to the line of scrimmage has been awesome.
Gators have played mostly their veterans up front defensively. Jermaine Cunningham, a freshman defensive end, has played quite a bit. He's in there now. On second down, dropped the ball, and they just had to dive on it about the 17, so they'll go backwards another yard. where it'll be 3rd down and 12, and that's just, I think that's just respecting the Florida defense, and he wanted to look up and see where everybody was.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when you start having a lot of changes in your backfield, you're switching quarterbacks, you got different cadence, and it's the quarterback's job to get the ball into the pocket of the running back, but it's also the running back's job to make sure he gives him a good clean pocket and then clamp down on the football. And if you're looking where you're trying to run to and not making sure the handoff, you put it on the ground.
On 3rd down, little throwback pass, and that was a bad idea. Trying to get the ball to Brown, but that didn't work out at all, and they'll have to punt yet again. So the Gator defense has been stalwart, allowing just 1 first down in 4 possessions. And the offense will get a chance to see if they can go 4 for 4, scoring each time they've touched the ball.
And what a great job all year long the defensive staff have done with these young men, where, you know, when the Gators really needed a big defensive play, somehow, some way, they've always come up with it.
Macy's punt will be caught at the 42, and James is dropped right there. So no return at all for the Gators in this situation. So 9:56 to play in the opening half. It's been all Florida as the home folks are seeing the Gators with a dominant performance.
Step back in time at the 2006 Sebring Historic Fall Classic, presented by Alan J. Automotive Network at Sebring International Raceway, December 1st through 3rd. See your favorite vintage sports cars, Porsche, BMW, and historic sports car racing, the Muscle and Rolex Endurance Challenges, Dash Series races, and the 4 Hours of Sebring. For tickets, call 1-800-626-RACE. Get a 3-day super ticket for only $45 and get access to the competitor's paddock. The 2006 Sebring Historic Fall Classic, presented by Alan J. Automotive Network.
We salute those in the arena whose faces are testimony to the pure joy of effort and who play with enthusiasm and abandon. Those competitors who go all out for the sweet taste of victory. There's no better place for good times, good sports, and great food than your neighborhood Beef O'Brady's.
See you at Beef's.
At SunTrust, we see beyond how you're banking to how you're living. That's why we put 2,700 ATMs where you need them and have 1,700 locations on the way to where you're going. You can always get a live voice on the phone 24/7. And you have the power of the whole bank at your fingertips online. So you can spend more time how you want to instead of how you have to. SunTrust, seeing beyond money.
College football on Sun Sports is brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealers. Toyotathon is on. Visit your local Toyota dealer for a great deal today. And by Men's Warehouse. You're going to like the way you look. Men's Warehouse. Now the Gators up 20-zip. And will just have their 4th possession. The crowd enjoying it. Good crowd today. I tell you, I expected more no-shows. You know, after all the games in a row and a break from the SEC, but the fans have come out.
Well, the loyal Gator Nation has always followed the Gators, supported them whoever they're playing, and today is no different.
Tim Tebow into the ball game. You could have made a lot of money betting on Tebow being the 3rd quarterback to come in for the Gators today. Gives it to Keyston Moore, and Keyston Moore is hitting the hole and driven backwards by Shelton Gaffney, senior middle linebacker. Shelton Gaffney from Gaffney, South Carolina, but I don't think they named it for him.
Gaffney, South Carolina, went to high school at Gaffney High School. So, you know, he owns the city, the school, and decided to mosey on down to Western Carolina to go to school. Let's take another look. Just nowhere to go. Moore tries to bounce it around, but Gaffney, coming from his middle linebacker slot, makes a solid tackle.
Tebow looking to throw. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll run. He's got 5. Spins forward and gets hit at about the 48 or 49. gets good yardage on the carry, does Tebow. His 62nd run as a quarterback. He's only thrown 19 passes.
Well, and the funny thing about the defense, you know, most times you want to intimidate a quarterback. You want to get the big hits on him. Well, you know, the thing about Tim Tebow is all you do when you go ahead and take a shot on him, you just sort of fires him up. All of a sudden he goes, oh, now we're playing football. This is my kind of football where I get to run over a couple DBs. So watch the next time he runs with the football. He's going to take on one of those little DBs and pancake him.
David Nelson has come into the ball game as a wide receiver. Cornelius Ingram also checking in. Gators at the 49 need about 3 yards. Tebow will throw for it, and there's Nelson. And the second-year player out of Texas makes the catch and goes forward for a Florida first down. He had 2 catches against UCF and has not caught a pass since.
Well, you got so much talent at the wide receiver spot. If you're David Nelson, it's very hard to get any playing time. Good, clean pocket. Nice job by Steve Rissler, the center, working one-on-one. And then the receivers, just a good, clean route, sitting it down in the hole. You're playing against his own defense. As a good receiver, you got to be able to find the hole, sit down, give your quarterback a target to throw to.
And the ball down to the 39-yard line for the Gators. Tebow, plenty of time. There's Harvin, and Percy Harvin with the catch at the 20.
Well, when you look at the Catamounts defense, they're playing zone defense, and when you get good blocking at the point of attack, quarterback's clean. He's sitting back there, can step up and throw the football. Percy Harvin coming over the middle of the field, just, you know, nice pitch and catch. You'd like to be able to get it to him where he doesn't have to go down to get it, but look how wide open the middle of this field is right here. Look how there's nobody there. Linebackers are sucked up. All you got to do is get it over their heads into the hands of Percy Harvin.
And so the Gators on the move again as we near the 7-minute mark to play here in the second quarter. Florida 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. This is their 4th opportunity. Option play right. Tebow still has it. Tebow to the 10. Tim Tebow, touchdown!
Well, Larry, I did say the next time he runs the football, he was going to run over somebody or through somebody, didn't I? You know, last time he came up and, you know, he sort of did a little dance, did a little spin move. This time there was no nonsense. He saw the gap, made the first guy miss, and then when he got close to the goal line, he just lowered his shoulder, and anybody that got in the way, he was taking them with him.
For Tebow, his 6th touchdown of the season. Nappy makes the extra point, so he's 2 out of 3. Hetland got the first one. Eric Nappy has gotten 2 of the last 3. 6:59 to play, first half. It's all Gators in the Swamp.
I am so into you. I can't think of nothing else. I am so into you.
Roger, it's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Texas Pete hot sauce. It's the bottle with the cowboy. Also try Texas Pete Buffalo Wing Sauce.
The Orlando Magic are back on Sun Sports. Dwight Howard and the Magic look to pick out where they left off as they take on O'Neal and the Pacers. Pacers and Magic, Wednesday at 6:30 on Sun Sports.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops returns with triple header action. Last season, All-American Joakim Noah led an explosive Gator squad to their first ever championship. Now, #1 ranked Florida has reloaded and looked to remain on top, but Florida State hopes an upset is in the cards. And Georgia Tech gears up for conference play against ACC rival Miami. ACC Sunday Night Hoops returns with a special triple header December 3rd on FSN.
Your guide to the ultimate adventure vacation is here. Destination Wild, presented by Jeep. Join host Courtney Hansen for the new series from Warren Miller Productions that takes you to the country's most thrilling vacation sites. On the next Destination Wild, we're off to Moab to take on the colossal terrain of the slick rock trails and an adrenaline-pumping dive from thousands of feet. Monday on FSN. Log on to DestinationWildTV.com and enter to win a Destination Wild trip of your own.
Professional ice hockey is back in Central Florida at the Silver Spurs Arena. Join the Florida Seals for great hockey excitement at a great price. For ticket information, visit Ticketmaster.com or contact the Silver Spurs Arena box office.
Chevy has the most full-size trucks that get an estimated 20 miles per gallon highway or better. So go on, live the full-size life. Learn more. Go to Yahoo and click Autos. Qualified lessees can lease an 07 Tahoe LS two-wheel drive for around $399 a month. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. See your Southern Chevy dealers.
He inspired all of his players to be not only good football players, but good men at the same time.
Coach Ray Graves, Jack Youngblood, all part of the Gridiron Gators video. Go to GatorsDVD.com. Every Gator needs to have one, and hey, it's holiday season. Get yourself something there. Florida Gators 27-0. They lead over Western Carolina, 9:56 to play. There you see Jack Youngblood's recognition here in the Ring of Heroes.
Well, anytime you have big plays, you're going to have guys that have key blocks. Now watch Ronnie Miller. Now watch Carlton Miller. Turns back, gets a guy, then Billy Lasco turns back. And then there you go. No matter who it is, Tim Tebow is not going to be denied as he runs over the defensive end, Brandon Drumgoole.
But it also took him 18 yards to find somebody to run into because those blockers took care of everybody else. Kick taken out of the end zone. Up to about the 20, maybe the 23-yard line goes Mike Malone. And that's where Western Carolina will go to work. Kyle Jackson in on the tackle for Florida.
You know, you talk about good blocking. Here's another look from the end zone, and then just Tim Tebow lowering his shoulder. He gets hit by the rush defensive end, Brandon Drumgoole. But watch him lower that left shoulder and take him on. Takes him on right there. I'm going to the end zone, buddy. You can hop on for a ride if you want.
58-yard drive for the Gators in just 5 plays. Gators have allowed just 1 first down to Western Carolina's offense, and Fudge runs into the pile and then loses yardage as he tries to bounce it outside. Ryan Smith, Dustin, though, there defensively for the Florida Gators, so it'll be a loss of a couple and bring up about a 2nd down and 12 situation. Gator volleyball team, the SEC champs for the 16th year in a row, will wrap up their home schedule with Kentucky. It's senior day, and you can enjoy all the action. Just bring a canned food item and get 1 free admission. That's Florida, Kentucky, Sunday at 1:30 in the O'Connell Center. And congratulations to Mary Wise and company on another conference title. Pass completed to the fullback. Clark gets across the 25 to about the 26-yard line. It'll still bring up 3rd down and about 6.
Coming into the ball game, Joe Clark Deere had caught 9 passes already, and today he's caught 2. So you know, he's become the lead receiver for the Catamounts.
Look at the yardage difference, 10-1. Florida 230, Western Carolina 23.
Well, when you can pound it and can run the football, it allows you, whenever you want to throw it, to sit back, especially with play action. There's no one close to the quarterback as he releases the football.
Pass is thrown and completed, but short of a 1st down. Was able to get the ball to his #1 receiver, Michael Hines, a junior from Asheville, came into the game with 58 receptions. But that one was only good for about 3 yards.
Well, Hines is really not a deep threat. He's not the big play guy for this football team. It's actually Eddie Cohen. When you look at Hines' number, he's caught 58 balls, Larry, but he's averaging 7.9 yards a catch, a little dink and dunk. But the guy that they want to go to for big plays is Eddie Cohen's #9.
Have not had time to throw downfield yet today and haven't been able to move the ball much at all. There's a good kick. Flag on the play at the snap. And here goes Brandon James at midfield. All that's left is the punter, Macy. James fakes 2 moves, goes to the sideline and scores. And let's hope it's an illegal formation.
I tell you, how many times have we seen him do this, and we look down there, we see that yellow piece of paper, should I say, hanky, and you say, not again.
Illegal formation on the kick.
All right.
Penalties applied. Touchdown.
Brandon James finally gets one to count.
This might be the happiest guy in the entire stadium, Larry. He's ran it like that all year long, and for some reason something goes wrong, and he just has a habit of setting up the block, getting good blocks, everybody maintaining their block, great blocking downfield, and then he just turns on the afterburners. And this is what you live for if you're a returner, getting one-on-one on the kicker. If you can't beat him, then you might have to give up your job.
Jonathan Phillips comes in. It didn't look pretty, but it counts with the extra point, and the Gators have certainly set a school record with 3 different guys kicking extra points in one half.
Well, I think this is a way that Urban Meyer is saying thank you to Nappy and to
Jonathan Phillips here.
And I mean, all year long they've been battling, trying to win that job from Chris Hetland, and haven't been able to do it. But today they're getting their chance, you know, an opportunity to get out and perform in front of the Gator Nation.
Phillips, who's a sophomore from Wellington down in the West Palm Beach area, will be given a shot to win the kicking job next year, both Nappy and Hetland being seniors. Gators may recruit one, may not. It may just be an open competition for that place kicking job in 2007. And Brandon James, the first Gator to return a punt in a long time. You got to go back to Lito Shepard, who did it against South Carolina. Remember the time South Carolina punted to Lito Shepard with like 13 seconds to go? And here it is. They had the lead, and this was the really changed the whole game.
Yeah, South Carolina thought they were in great shape to try and dethrone the Gators, and Lito Shepard just wiggled his way through South Carolina. And what is it about diving in the end zone? What's wrong with just running on in? You know, I didn't see Brandon James dive that time. He ran in like he's been there before.
I think that looked like a lot of fun to go diving into the end zone. Never having gotten close, I suspect it was a whole lot of fun. What I remember about that ball game is South Carolina led 21-3, and the Gators scored the next 38 points, 7 of them coming on that punt return. And the kickoff return takes the ball to about the 30, and that play was actually the last play of the first half, and the Gators went in the locker room with the momentum and came out and smoked them in the second half. And that was a time when South Carolina had a chance to catch Florida. Would have had control of the SEC East race had they won that ball game and led it by 18.
Yeah, but you know, you had guys like Lito Shepard that were big play guys that whenever the Gators actually had to have a big play, you know, Kawan Ratliff, they made those type plays for you, whether it was defensively, whether it was special teams or that.
And timeout called. Play clock was winding down. Somebody out there called time with 3:51 to play in the first half.
Timeout, Western Carolina. This is their second timeout of the first half.
Yeah, the interesting thing about this game, Gators had 4 offensive possessions and they got 5 touchdowns. So that's a pretty good percentage. Well, for the Florida Gators, this is an opportunity to finish the season having won them all right here in front of the home folks. And they started early this year playing well. They've had some battles to get that done. None of them have been real easy, but remember this play against Kentucky? Flip, flop, floop. And there's Jamail Cornelius in the end zone. And Deshaun Wynn goes against the right side, following his blockers, and he's got the touchdown. The Gators beat Kentucky 26-7. That was the 3rd of 6 home wins so far this season.
And Dallas Baker, we didn't call his name, but he was the guy that made the big play where it looked like they had him cut off from Chris Leak, and instead of being able to lateral, he tossed it back to him, and then Chris was able to get the ball down the field to Jamel Cornelius.
Yeah, the running jump hook type of throw.
Well, Dallas Baker, you know, last game in the swamp, you know, sitting out with a little twisted knee. I know it's bothered him not to be able to play right now.
Run a draw play. Fudge gets hit, and he will be dropped for a loss on the play. Looked like Reggie Nelson knifed in, got him around the ankles, and wouldn't let go.
Well, I guess Reggie Nelson said on that particular play, hey guys, I'm going to blitz. I normally lined up 21 yards deep and came racing up pre-snap and was able to get in and make the tackle for a loss. But normally Reggie Nelson is 21 yards deep and he goes sideline to sideline to help out those corners in case a receiver gets a step on him.
Well, on 2nd down and long. There's Fudge again, carrying a Gator defender back to the 30-yard line where they started. And it'll bring up 3rd down. There's a flag on the play. Right in the middle of the blocking and tackling, and the Gators get a personal foul.
Personal foul, grabbing and twisting the face mask. Number 51 of the defense. 15-yard penalty from where the run ended. 1st down.
Brandon Spikes called. 2nd 1st down for Western Carolina. They got one on a swing pass to the fullback. And now they pick up their 2nd moving of the chains and get that ball out to the 45.
Well, the Gators have been one of the most penalized teams in the SEC this year. Matter of fact, they're number 1 as far as being penalized, and have been able to cut down on that. Hadn't gotten many calls against them this afternoon, but that was a big one. Allows West Carolina to keep the football.
And the crowd gets into it a little bit now that they see the Catamounts move the ball. Blitz is coming and time is called. Or was there a false start? Flag thrown by the line judge. If he stops the action, normally it's a false start.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 63 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 1st down.
It's their main guy, Marcus Thomas, with his 2nd false start.
Well, once again, Reggie Nelson come racing up from his free safety slot, showing blitz. You know, here he goes. He takes off. He's trying to time this thing. You know, you've got an all-out blitz, and I think Horn's glad there was a penalty call because he was about to really get smacked.
He might have been blowing the whistle himself. Horn on 1st down. Pretty good protection. Passes deflected and complete. Nelson tried to get to it, but couldn't. And it'll be 2nd and 15.
I'll tell you, when I look at Andy Horn back here at the quarterback position with all the pressure and all the hits he's taken, you know, this kid sits in there and actually looks pretty good at that quarterback slot. You know, when he's had time to throw the football, he's put the ball on the money. That time his receiver just weren't able to handle the ball as it was a little hot.
Shamar Allen, 88, the tight end. Guard was covered closely by Brandon Spikes, the Gator linebacker. On 2nd down, they toss it to Fudge. And he'll get a yard. May have rolled forward for a 2nd yard on the play. Darius Fudge wants 43 yards today, and his team wants to get that for them. That's one of their big goals in this game, is to get Darius Fudge 43 yards so he can have a 1,000-yard season. Senior running back from Riverdale, Georgia. And he's got some work to do to get to that point, but they're trying.
Well, he's got to get a better job done by that offensive line to create some seams, because he's running hard. He's doing everything he can, but you know, you've got to have some cracks to pop it through.
Well, he's averaging a half a yard a carry, so he'll have to carry the ball 87 times at this pace. Fudge will do a little better than a half yard that time. He gains maybe 3, and it'll be 4th and 11 at the 44-yard line. And we will see Macy punt again. We'll see if they again punt deep to Brandon James or try a little something different. James has had a good time of it, returning punts so far today.
Macy actually coming to the game averaging what, 37.3 yards per kick, but he's kicked some beauties here today.
Urban Meyer looks on as the Gator punt return unit's out there. They've put a pretty good rush on, but haven't come real close to blocking one. There's a high kick. That'll be tough to return if the Catamounts get downfield, but they didn't too much. And there's room again for James. And he couldn't run through that one tackler. He would have had a lot of running room as the Florida Gators get great field position. The Gators with 5 touchdowns here in the first half.
Well, Deshaun Wynn over the right side. Nice job of hurling Watson, getting into the end zone. Got good blocking at the point of attack. And then we come back once again. Nice job tucking in behind Drew Miller and gets into the end zone for the second touchdown of the day for himself. And then a pass out to Riley Cooper, gets his first touchdown. And then Tim Tebow going 20 yards for the fourth touchdown. And then Brandon James, special teams, gets into the act as Brandon James goes the distance for the first punt return for a touchdown in quite some time.
Since 2000. Gators run right up the middle, big hole. And Keyston Moore close to 10, 11 yards. Gets a first down on the first carry, and that will be the end of the half. So the Florida Gators completely dominant as expected against Western Carolina, as the Gators try to make it a 10-win season in front of the home folks in Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. Florida 9-1, ranked number 4 in the AP poll. And Chris Leak having a good time of it. He has one touchdown pass, and that's probably all he'll get today. But the Gators in command, leading by a score of 34-0. Nat?
Well, when you look at the score and in the game, the way it's been played is what you anticipated. The Gators are much more talented, more players, more personnel, and you know, they just got to come out in the second half and continue to do the same. Get some,
but it's a game where playing time. Yeah, it's a game where you could go through the motions, but they're certainly not doing that. They're playing hard and seeming to give it very, very good effort. Let's go down to the field. Steve Babick with the coach.
Now, Coach, your thoughts on the first half, what you saw out there?
Well, I'm really excited about Brandon James. You know, he's a freshman, and it's his third one this year, only first one accounted. So every time he touches the ball, I'm excited about Jared Faison, and you know, you're playing with a bunch of young guys on defense. This is I'm really pleased with the way they're playing right now.
You wanted a clean game by the guys that went in there first. Are you seeing that?
No, you know, the only alarming thing is the first down run game right now, where we're not getting yardage. And but I mean, that's our guys are playing hard.
We saw the option by Tim Tebow. That's the way you draw it up on the chalkboard, right?
Yeah, he did. He actually checked to that play, and he actually threw. You know, Tim Tebow's and Chris. I mean, Tim. That's a nice little peek at the future right there.
Obviously, defensively, the guys are doing what they need to do. The young guys, Dustin Doe and Brandon Spikes, making some plays.
You guys, I think, you know, you look at, there's 4 starters out of the game, and those guys are playing hard. And, you know, we just want to make sure we finish a clean game and play extremely hard, get our 10th win.
Any word on what happened with Dallas Baker?
They think it's just they think he should be fine.
Second half plan, a lot more young guys get in there?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Thank you, Coach. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Steve Babick. We are at the half at the Swamp. The Florida Gators dominant. Our halftime's coming up on Sun Sports. All Gators in the first half here against Western Carolina. Florida leading it by a score of 34-0. And Nat, when you have a 34-0 first half, you got a lot of highlights. So let's get right to some of the big plays in the first half of this ball game.
Well, Deshaun Wynn got us off to a great start as he breaks it over the center of the middle of the field for a 26-yard touchdown run. And then Deshaun Wynn gets his second touchdown of the day. Good second effort, just driving his legs, getting into the end zone. And then what an outstanding day for this guy, Joe Clear. The only first down that the Catamounts have offensively. Dustin Doe, linebacker, freshman, getting in on the act with a big hit. But in the second half, second quarter, shall I say, Chris Leak going to Riley Cooper for his first touchdown pass of the day, or his only touchdown pass. And then Tim Tebow, third quarterback in, on a 20-yard scamper for a touchdown. And then Brandon James, all year long, has been doing an outstanding job running with the football. But for today, finally, no flag, touchdown, 77 yards. Keys to the game, established a run. -5 yards rushing for Western Carolina. Takeaways, no big plays. So far, UF has 6 big plays. Offensively, the Gators wanted to put points on the board. They put 34 in the first half and shut down the run. -4 yards rushing for Western Carolina.
And the keys to the game are brought to you by Chevrolet, America's #1 brand, #1 value. Let's check out the stats from the first half, and they're as dominant as you would expect. The Gators 109 on the ground, -4 for Western Carolina. The Gators overall 240 yards to just 31. Just a few penalties, only one major penalty against the Gators. And Florida, on the few occasions they needed to go to third down, 3 out of 4 on third down as well. So the Gators getting it all done in the first 30 minutes of the ball game, and as a result, Urban Meyer's team has a 34-0 lead, and their challenge now is to maintain focus, maintain that energy level. And again, we may see a lot of young guys getting chances here in the, especially some offensive line, defensive line guys that they'd like to get some work in for. So we'll keep our eyes out for players like Simon Codrington. Ronnie Wilson has already seen some action. Brandon Antwine on the defense and so forth. Brandon James takes the short kick, breaks it to the outside. Tell you what, he needs some tearaway clothing, because that's the second time he had a chance to break one. Someone just got a hand of some material and would not let go, but the Gators will have excellent field position to open up the second half of this ball game.
Antoine George actually made the tackle, but Larry, you have to admit, every time you get the ball in Brandon James' hands, something exciting is going to happen. I mean, he's a little far plucked.
You don't want to stop. You want to stop what you're doing and make sure you're paying attention, because he's that kind of a threat. And look forward to seeing what he can do. He's got 3 more years, just a freshman. Gators run up the middle on the first play of the second half. Looks like the last play of the first half for Keyston Moore, except this time he's tripped up a little short of first down yardage, but gained about 8.
And he actually does such an outstanding job running with the football. You'll see him running over the left side. Good blocking at the point of attack. Now watch him. He just tucks in behind Miller. And right here, he just runs over his own guy and gets tripped up as he's trying to spring it outside. Keyston Moore got a lot of playing time early in the year, has not played as much here lately. So, you know, he's looking forward to the second half here. Tim
Tebow joins him in the backfield on second down and a longish 2. Tebow rolling right. He's going to keep it across the 45, steps out of bounds. Might have been a little short of the first down. I'm going to pass out from shock here. Tim Tebow avoiding contact and stopping short of the first down. They may need to measure. The referee's looking to get a sense of where it is. It's between the 47 and 48 yard lines.
Let's go back and take another look as Tim Tebow does the wise thing, doesn't take the hit, steps out. I think looked like they got a good spot on it. I mean, that's exactly the way it went out at. So, you know, sometimes we get all over the officials, but that time they were right on it.
And Gators on third down and less than a yard. Check in Tate Casey as a tight end. Tebow keeps first down, and he's dropped right there on the Letterman F. Right at midfield, just a little bit into Western Carolina territory.
We've seen that play quite a few times. You need short yardage. You take a guy like Tim Tebow, who's a southpaw. You run him to that left side where he's running behind Phil Trotwine and Jim Tart. Pick up that first down. Move the chains.
Tebow throws it out to Cornelius Ingram. He's got the 40. Ingram to the 30. Cornelius down to the 22-yard line.
Well, Larry, I sure hope we got a chance to get another look at this, and I'm going to show you what happens when you put a move on air. You know, Cornelius Ingram makes a catch. He's got great blocking outside. Now look at the blocks. Everybody gets a hat on the man. You see Kenneth Tukes getting this block. Now right there, he puts a move on. There's nobody there, and you lose your balance. You know, you want to wait till you get a little closer to the defender. Now you've put that jab step on him, and you affect him.
Big play for Ingram. Got the ball close to the 20. The Gators run inside, just get maybe 2 or 3 yards there. Gators have it at about the 19-yard line. There we see some newcomers. Ronnie Wilson played a little in the first half. He's a right guard now, 69. Eddie Haupt in as the backup center right next to him.
I think what we're seeing is the Gators of the future, other than Kenneth Tukes out there. Everybody that you see out on the football field are guys that will be back next year that's getting some playing experience.
Screen to the left side. Ingram got it inside the 15-yard line, but it looks like he's going to be a little shy of the first down. Cornelius Ingram from Hawthorne. He's got 2 more years of eligibility.
Jarrett Faison is out there now, lining up at the wide receiver position to show you his versatility.
Before the day's over, maybe Faison will throw a pass to Tebow.
It could happen.
You never know. On 3rd and short, Tebow flips it out to Ingram. Cornelius Ingram out of bounds just shy of the goal line.
Well, you know, if you Tim Tebow after Cornelius Ingram makes this great one-hand catch on the ball that's thrown behind him, you think you've got your 3rd touchdown pass of the year. But right here, Cornelius has got to lower that shoulder and get into the end zone. He's got to know where he's at if he wants to score a touchdown.
Mitchell Dukes, their best defensive back, been bothered by a bad ankle for a few weeks, is toughing it out in his final game. The senior from Atlanta made that hit, number 6, the safety for Western Carolina. But it's 1st and goal for the Gators. Tebow keeps. I don't think so. And there is a flag on the play. I love this. If they lined up offside, the penalty is like 4 inches.
And that's why you cheated if you're on defense. I mean, unless you get a turnover and it's called back, you know, that's the only thing that could hurt you. So
offsides, defense will penalize half the distance to the goal, remains 1st down.
I mean, so what did you actually lose, you know, versus, you know, they tell you when you're playing goal line defense to crowd the football, get as close as you can, because you want to try and get underneath those offensive linemen and stand them up.
How about Billy Latsko getting a carry here? Nope, it'll be Tebow. Touchdown. 2nd of the day for Tim Tebow, his 7th of the season.
Well, last ball game, I think Tim Tebow had 1 rushing, and Chris Leak had what, 2 rushing or something like that. So I guess today is Tim Tebow's day to put it in the end zone as he's went in for the 2nd time today.
The Gators with the extra point. Looks a little better that time for Jonathan Phillips. But we had a flag on the play. Came from by the goal post, which is usually an indication either of a dead ball, that they didn't snap it in time, or there were too many guys on the other side of the ball.
Well, they told him don't leave the field as they're counting, so I would think what they're saying is too many men on the field.
"12 men on the field against the defense. Penalty will be declined. Extra point is good."
And so the Florida Gators have scored their 2nd most points of the season, and they've still got a quarter and 11 minutes to play. Tim Tebow with the score. The Gators up 41.
We tip our hats to those who play the game, who play for the pure love of the sport, and for those who strive and strive again for that golden moment when all the effort finally pays off. There's no better place for good times, good sports, and great food than your neighborhood Beef O'Brady's.
See you at Beef's.
Coming up Sunday on FSN. Best Damn gets outrageous.
The band is out on the field.
We've got the craziest.
Oh, baby.
Wildest.
Oh, my goodness. Wanda just kicked the photographer.
Most exciting, most incredible moments in sports history. He brought the whole goal down. It's the top 50 most outrageous moments, Best Damn style.
Put that in package, folks.
Sunday on FSN.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops returns with triple header action. Last season, All-American Joakim Noah led an explosive Gator squad to their first ever championship. Now, #1 ranked Florida has reloaded and looked to remain on top, but Florida State hopes an upset is in the cards. And Georgia Tech gears up for conference play against ACC rival Miami. ACC Sunday Night Hoops returns with a special triple header December 3rd on FSN.
Hey Gator fans, watch the best plays, the last-second decisions, and then make your call. Watch Sun Sports after every Florida Gator game for the best post-game coverage. Geico Gator postgame, immediately following the Gator game.
Honey,
Yeah?
Do you know what this light switch does?
Which one?
The one on the right.
I never used that one.
All right, will you look?
Yep.
On, off, on.
No.
Are you looking?
Yes.
Off, on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off.
Life comes at you fast. When it does, nobody covers your car like Nationwide. Investments, retirement, insurance.
Nationwide is on your side.
We salute those in the arena whose faces are testimony to the pure joy of effort and who play with enthusiasm and abandon. Those competitors who go all out for the sweet taste of victory. There's no better place for good times, good sports, and great food than your neighborhood Beef O'Brady's.
See you at Beef's.
College football on Sun Sports is brought to you in part by SunTrust, seeing beyond the money. By Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And by K&G Superstores, K&G Fashion Superstore for men for less. Well, the Gator has been in command today. Every time the Gators have had a full possession, they have scored a touchdown. They have a punt return for a score and lead it by a 41-0 count over Western Carolina with 11:10 to play. Tim Tebow giving us a look at the future.
Here's another look of Tim Tebow being able to make people miss and then turn on that great speed that he possesses, gets into the end zone. This time he goes up and over for his second touchdown of the day.
And he's doing a nice job throwing the ball as well. They've let him throw the ball more than he has since very early in the season.
He's got 4 carries this afternoon for over 30 yards.
And 5 for 5 throwing it. High kick near the sideline will be fielded at about the 6. Running up the sideline is Malone, and he'll get run out somewhere between the 25 and 30-yard lines, and that's where Western Carolina will go on offense against the Florida Gators. There's Kyle Jackson checking into the ball game at free safety, a junior from Jacksonville.
2 years ago, Kyle Jackson was the starting free safety, had an outstanding freshman year, and saw it tailored off his sophomore year. So.
And now he's backing up one of the best in the country in Reggie Nelson. Run inside, Fudge goes forward for about 3.
And this is when, if you're the head coach, Kent Briggs, do you really say that it's time to reward Darius Fudge and see if we can't get him 1,000 yards? You know, to come up with some schemes to try and get him loose, to pop him at least to get him one big run, so hopefully he has a chance to reach 1,000 yards this year.
I had a glance at Dorian Monroe out of Miami, who's in at the strong safety. There's Fudge with a little running room. Gets forward across the 35. It'll be 3rd down and about 3. Fudge needing 43 yards, and he's still not halfway there.
You know, when a running back runs for 1,000 yards and reach that milestone, you know, it gives the offensive line a lot of pride as well. It's not just him. You know, all of a sudden the offensive lineman who needs to, you know, something good to happen to feel good about themselves, especially being 2-8. This would be a outstanding monument for them.
Batted up in the air, jump ball, and it falls incomplete. Well, they went after it. Brian Crum and a couple of Catamounts trying to get that deflected pass, but no one got to it, and they'll have to punt it away. You get a good look at Dorian Monroe.
But watch the heads-up play as this ball is batted up, and Brian Crum looked like he's going to get it. Darius Fudge gets up off the ground, comes in, and knocks the ball out, as well as Andy Horns over there trying to keep Brian Crum from getting that interception. But that's an outstanding play by Darius Fudge.
This will be a shorter punt. We'll hit at the 32. Everyone needs to steer clear of it, and it'll be down right around the 25-yard line. There is another flag on the play right at the line of scrimmage, which was the 35. So if the Gators were offside, that would be a 1st down.
And would be the second time today that a penalty has given Carolina a first down, Western Carolina first down.
We don't, oh, there are 2 flags. There's also one at the 28-yard line after the punt. They're both against Western Carolina. There's an illegal formation before the kick, and it looked like a personal foul after. I imagine Florida would decline the first, take the second, get the ball up around the 40. There's Tremaine McCullum talking it over.
And you know, it's interesting. I don't think that Urban Meyer is sure what the actual call is as to where they take the football.
There are 2 fouls on the play. The first foul is an illegal formation against the kicking team. That 5-yard penalty will be added to where the kick ended. The second foul is a dead ball foul, personal foul against number 5 of the kicking team. That additional 15 yards will be added.
So they get both marched off. The Gators will have great field position. We'll step away from the swamp where the Gators are winning big.
At SunTrust, we see beyond deposits to why you make them. See beyond financial plans to who you're planning for. See beyond a mortgage to where you want to call home. And see beyond a balance sheet to what a growing business needs. It's only by looking beyond the obvious that we get to the better answers people deserve. SunTrust, seeing beyond money.
Come to the Checkers left side drive-thru for the Gators combo meal. When you eat, the Gators win. Like in 1997, when you ate them to victory!
Go Gators!
No, come to the right side for the Knowles combo meal. Remember 2003? Knowles fans out-ate the competition.
Oh, no!
Go!
Get your Gators or Knowles combo at Checkers. A half-pound double champ with cheese, large fries, and a large drink. For each one you buy, we'll donate to your school. See who's ahead at seewho'sahead.com. The more you eat, the more they'll win.
Chevy has the most full-size trucks that get an estimated 20 miles per gallon highway or better. So go on, live the full-size life. Learn more. Go to Yahoo and click Autos. See your Southern Chevy dealers.
The Florida Gators with 9:11 to go in the third quarter with a big lead over Western Carolina by a score of 41-0. But 2 weeks from today, the Gators will be up in Atlanta for the SEC Championship. And fans headed to the championship game in Atlanta can attend the Hyatt Regency SEC Coaches Luncheon on Friday, December 1st. And are encouraged to check out the Dr. Pepper SEC Fanfare on both Friday and Saturday, the 1st and 2nd. For more information on these events around SEC Championship game weekend, go to secsports.com. Gators go on offense, and Jared Faison is going to get another turn at quarterback. And he's got running room. Cross midfield, fights forward to the 45-yard line. He got 11 yards and a first down.
And Larry, Jared Faison is a running back. And I mean, I know he played quarterback in high school, but watch him read the heads of his blockers. I mean, he sets up blocks. I mean, he just, you know, he looks more like a running back, the fluidness, how he is able to get back into a hole.
He's averaging 13 yards a carry, so that's not bad.
No.
This time he breaks it outside, and a flag thrown by the referee trailing the play. Would have been a gain of about 5 yards, but that's almost always going to be offensive holding, and it is.
And just as soon as I gave him that credit for setting up blocks and etc., he deserted his tackle that time. And that might be where the holding call comes in.
Holding, number 29 of the offense. Penalty would be 10 yards from the previous spot. We play first down.
That lead blocker Eric Rutledge from PK Young right here in Gainesville. What a line of players that played at PK Young. Ended up in Gator uniforms. Willie and Terry Jackson, Chris Doring, Travis McGriff. All played for John Clifford, former Gator defensive back over there. Lewis Murphy has checked into the Florida lineup as a receiver on 1st and 20. And Tebow is back in as a quarterback. Fires to Nelson. David Nelson ducks under a tackler and gets about 12 or 13 yards on the play with his second catch of the afternoon.
Well, everybody's been asking the question, what about Tim Tebow throwing the football? Well, this afternoon, we're getting a chance to see Tim sit back in the pocket and classic drop back and throw the football. David Nelson at 6'5", got a big frame, nice target for Tim to have to try and get the ball to.
Yeah, he's a guy they think can help him a lot next year as that big target, especially on fade routes and such. Tebow steps up looking for a receiver, finds Nelson, who drops it at the 28-yard line.
Well, this ball is not a perfectly thrown ball, but I tell you what, David Nelson will be the first one to tell you that was a catchable ball. Now, all I've got to do is make sure the catch. That time he tried to run prior to making the catch and dropped the football. Should have been a first down for the Gators.
Tebow has been throwing the ball very well this afternoon, getting a chance to wing it around the ballpark a little bit. That's his first incompletion of the day. Now it's 3rd down. They need 8. Plenty of time, and there's Nelson making a much tougher catch at the 20-yard line.
Well, they always say if you get a receiver that puts one on the ground, he drops it, the best thing you could do is to come right back at him. And this time Tim Tebow catches him coming across on a square end, little end cut, and this is a perfectly thrown football. A defender draped all over him, and Nelson makes the catch with George hanging all over his back.
David Nelson from Wichita Falls, Texas. Traveled a long way to become a Gator. First down at the 20. And faking the line, they throw wide left. There's Ingram, Cornelius Ingram, inside the 10, 1st and goal.
Well, this is the first time I've ever seen it on the bubble screen where the quarterback starts to run to the side of the bubble screen. Just another little wrinkle in this Gator offense with Tim Tebow at the helm. You're always concerned about his running ability. Now watch him take off like he's going to keep the football, and then he sets it up, sets up the play, holds all the defenders. You don't see many defenders out there because of that, because they were all concerned about Tim Tebow running with the football. And this allows Ingram, once he catches the football, a little room to maneuver, pick up the first down.
And Jared Faison back in a quarterback. He'll keep. He will score with ease. Touchdown, Gators.
Great blocking once again over the left side. The Gators are starting to wear down the defensive line where there isn't much of a challenge at all. Faison goes into the end zone untouched as he reads the blocking, bounces it outside for the touchdown.
And for the extra point. And the Gators have misfired just once. As Phillips connects again. Gators 6 for 7 on extra points today, and just an all-Gator afternoon here against Western Carolina, going for win number 10 on the season. The Gators are well on their way. Still 6:03 to play in the 3rd.
Gators and Knowles fans, start your engines. Checkers Drive-Thru Restaurants, the official drive-thru of NASCAR and the official burger of the University of Florida and Florida State University, is excited to make a special limited-time offer of 2 commemorative die-cast cars. These cars are reproductions of the very cars that raced at the Homestead Miami Speedway during the Ford 400 Nextel Cup race. The cars you see are produced in stunning detail at a 1/24th scale and are replicas of the actual cars Kyle Petty and Scott Riggs drove in Homestead. Now for a limited time, your choice of one of these beautifully crafted cars are available for $19.99. Call now. Our operators are ready to take your call at 1-877-212-6017. Your credit card order will ensure prompt shipment. In addition to taking your calls, we're taking your orders on our website, GatorsKnowlesRacing.com. Don't wait. These collector's items are not available in our restaurants and they're not going to last long. At just $19.99 plus shipping, the model of your choice can be yours to display proudly at work or at home. Before we wave the checkered flag and finish this deal, call 1-877-212-6017 or visit GatorsKnowlesRacing.com.
At SunTrust, we see beyond how you're banking to how you're living. That's why we put 2,700 ATMs where you need them and have 1,700 locations on the way to where you're going. You can always get a live voice on the phone 24/7. And you have the power of the whole bank at your fingertips online. So you can spend more time how you want to instead of how you have to. SunTrust, seeing beyond money.
Well, quarterback Jared Faison, the freshman receiver, getting a lot of quarterback duty, and his first touchdown as a Florida Gator as he took it across the goal line to complete the drive.
And Larry, look at the great blocking that you're going to get. This guy right here, Rutledge, is going to lead through. Watch the offensive line just do an outstanding job. Everybody blocks down. You got Jason Watkins now. He's put on that 77 line to back up at the tackle position. And then David Nelson, who caught the big pass to get him down there, makes the final block to get Jared Faison into the end zone. Good execution on that left side.
The Gator offensive line has dominated this contest from the get-go. Florida quarterbacks have not been hit. The Gators have driven to score on every possession, with the exception of a one-play possession that ended the first half on an 11-yard run. And they kick off high and very short. Be fielded at the 10. And going forward to about the 28-yard line is Mike Malone. And a flag comes out at the end of that play. Let's check out the play of Jared Faison out of Tampa.
And I tell you, Larry, his quickness as he's able to tuck in behind the fullback. This time it's Billy Latchko. But, you know, they run this little quarterback counter, and he's able to tuck in, get behind his fullback, and then able to get into the end zone. You know, you got to have speed to be able to run this counter play with the quarterback, because he takes a couple steps going the opposite direction of where he really wants to go.
Here you see the numbers. See, he only ran the touchdown from 8 yards. It messed up his average. He was averaging 13. Now it's down to 12.
Well, you know, if he was a little bit further out, it'd probably have been 60.
Yeah, he could have run for a while, couldn't he?
Yeah.
From the 33, the Gators had a 5-yard face mask. Direct snap to Fudge, who's able to get a couple of yards.
Actually, line Fudge up at the quarterback slot. Give him a chance to look at what's coming as he gets the ball in his hands. He's look like he's going to play quarterback here.
It'll be second down and about 8. Ball just shy of the 35. Another direct snap keeper. Yeah, he's got some running room. Gets it up to about the 40, maybe to the 41-yard line. Went for about 5, maybe 6 yards, which could be his best carry of the day.
Well, you're trying to reward Darius Fudge and get him that 1,000 yards, and you know, very creative way. You know, they're looking at what Florida's been able to do with Tim Tebow, looking at what they've been able to do with Jared Faison. Well, let's line Fudge up and see if he can't pop one. He picks up 6, 7 yards. Now they bring Andy Horn back in at the quarterback position on third down.
Third down, they need 3. So they hand it off to Fudge. Runs through a tackle, gets the first down, and is run out of bounds at about the 48-yard line. Just the second offensive first down of the day for the Catamounts.
Good blocking over the left side of the offensive line of the Catamounts with Josh Deaver and Marcus Thomas, Kevin Wiggins.
You see Clint McMillan, Gator defensive tackle, in there getting some playing time. Junior from Oviedo. Brandon Antwine, true freshman out of Garland, Texas. Put him on the nose. Guys, it'll be important to the Gators next year with a very senior-dominated defense. Fudge patiently waits for a hole to develop, goes forward for about 8 yards, maybe 9.
Guys, I'm watching out there some of the young guys go in, and it's exciting to see the future at the defensive backs. Wandy Pierre-Louis has gone in. On the other side, you've got Marky Anderson, who's had a lot more playing time. But I think that both Doc Holliday and Chuck Heater that work with the entire secondary, they like what they see with their young players. Size with Wandy Pierre-Louis and speed, and you've got a good cover corner in Marky Anderson.
Also, Dorian Monroe is getting some playing time at the strong safety position.
There's Doc Holliday, coaches the Gator safeties. Wandy Pierre-Louis is number 4, Marky Anderson 37, if you want to keep an eye out for those young corners. Straight ahead Fudge, and he's got another first down at the 40-yard line. And his pursuit of the 1,000 mark looks like it's going to be rewarded on this drive, getting very close.
Oh, he's picked up over 20 yards. He's carried the ball every down on this series, and he gets the second first down of this drive. Here you see another good job by the offensive line. Fudge just picking his way, knowing he's not going to pop anything big.
56, Darion Robinson getting in on that tackle. He's a senior, one-time walk-on. They run inside, and that's with Mike Malone. And Malone goes backwards for a yard. Malone we've seen mostly as a kick returner. He's a junior from Gainesville, Georgia, the heir apparent of the tailback spot.
Malone is the speed merchant on this football team offensively, a guy that they'd like to try and get him some experience because he's the replacement for Darius Fudge.
Quarterback Andy Horn puts a man in motion on second down and 11. And a whistle. Must have been a false start again on that left side. Marcus Thomas, number 63, has had a couple of them for Western Carolina, and chances are it's him again.
No play prior to the snap. False start, number 66 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
It's Josh Deaver that the left guard gets called for the infraction.
That'll make it 2nd and 16 as we near the 2-minute mark to play here in the third quarter.
Gators have not gotten a sack today, have they?
No.
This second ball game in a row where the defensive line, or should I say the Gator defense, has been shut out sack-wise. As we take a look at the Gators have ran for 144 yards.
Only 29 for the Catamounts. 2nd and long. Oh, a little bit of running room for Malone had he caught it cleanly, but juggled it and then dropped it. And it'll bring up 3rd down. Marky Anderson, one of the freshman DBs we were talking about, closing on the play. Anderson out of Fort Myers Dunbar High School.
One of the things that happen with young guys is you're trying to make a big play instead of just making the play. And Malone turns his head away from the football. Ball gets to his pads, falls harmlessly to the ground. Got to make sure the grab before you start to turn and run.
Third down. And they'll run it. And Fudge may not have gotten back to the line of scrimmage. They'll mark him ahead for maybe half a yard. And it'll be 4th down.
They're hoping they would catch the Gators in a blitz. And this time Ryan Stamper comes up and just goes through the would-be blocker, gets in on the tackle.
Ryan Stamper from First Coast High School in Jacksonville, redshirt freshman. He'll be in that linebacker mix next year. Gators lose 2 seniors in Earl Everett and Brian Crum. Driving kick. And they won't mess with it. It hits at the 3 and rolls on through the end zone. And Florida will start at their 20-yard line. 57 seconds remain here in the first half, as Urban Meyer looks to remain unbeaten here in the Swamp. Earlier this year, a very strong Alabama team came to town. There you see the Gators wearing the old uniforms. It's a great day. Chris Leak to Bubba Caldwell, who made a man miss and then took it to the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. Held on just long enough. And then Leak again for a touchdown pass. This time it's Number 81, Dallas Baker, the senior from New Smyrna Beach. And the Gator defense got the job done. Reggie Nelson picked it off. What a terrific season he's had. The Gators beating Alabama not that long ago. Here's Tebow on a keeper across the 30, and he'll kind of shuffle out of bounds at the 34-yard line.
And Larry, how many times have we seen Tim Tebow today, with the game already decided, make that move, get out of bounds, get the first down, not take any punishment? Normally, when the game's in doubt, he will tuck it under and he will just try and split the defenders. Right here, he has a chance to try and split them, but he gets outside, realize that, there's no reason for him to take any punishment here.
Next year, as the #1 quarterback, he's going to have to choose that on a few occasions as well. Tebow waiting for a man. It's deflected, well covered out there on the corner for Western Carolina. Mitchell Dukes got a hand on it.
Mitchell Dukes in the Tennessee-Chattanooga game had 2 picks. One of them he took back for a touchdown. He's a senior that's been battling injuries all year long, and gutted it out today. It's his last ball game, and he told the coaches he wanted to play. When we got our depth charts, he was number 3.
But you can tell he's a really good player. When he's been out there, he's been right around everything. They'll miss him. Leads the team with 3 interceptions. Faison in motion. And they'll give it going the other way to Marcus Manson. Manson at the 40. And he'll be run out of bounds at about the 43-yard line. So that is Marcus Manson's first carry in a long time, and he takes it for about 8 yards.
Hey, Nat, I'm wondering, when you're used to a right-handed quarterback as a player, and with Chris Leak, does it take an adjustment period to get used to a lefty like Tim Tebow?
Well, there's a different rotation on the football, but I had a chance to play not only with Greasy, but I played in the Pro Bowl with Kenny Stabler, and they throw the ball the same. It's not that big a difference. It's a bigger difference for the offensive line because of the blind side change. The right tackle now becomes the guy that has to protect the blind side.
Faison, direct snap, goes forward and gets the Florida first down. And that should be the final play of the 3rd quarter, as they stop the clock with 10 seconds to play to verify the first down, and then we'll run out the last few seconds. But first, we've got a injured Catamount on the field. It'll need to be tended to. Now, you were talking about the adjustment. Is it more of an adjustment to go from maybe a finesse passer to a hard thrower rather than a lefty-righty?
Oh, without a doubt. A guy that has no touch, it's very difficult to make great catches for him, in traffic, because there's so much velocity. Where a guy that's a touch passer, it's a lot easier to pluck the ball out of the air. And I'll give you 2 great examples as far as NFL quarterbacks. Dan Marino threw the ball with the nose up, had a lot of zip on it, similar to John Elway. John Elway had a lot of drop balls. That's one reason that his numbers are much lower than Dan Marino. Touchdown passes as well as receptions, because he had a lot of drop balls. He threw a heavy ball, what we call it in football. Nose down, a lot of velocity, very hard to make that catch in traffic when it's behind you.
Now, I've got a question about being a play caller. If you've got a guy that rolls out to his right, being a right-hander, I guess you're going to change it a little bit with a lefty like Tebow. So you want rollouts, obviously, to his side when you can, being a left-handed thrower, too.
Well, and it also screws up the defense, because they're so used to playing against right-handed quarterbacks. So all of a sudden, you play against a guy that's a mobile quarterback, and when he scrambles, he's going left. That's against the grain, normally the weak side versus the strong side.
Weak side must be my cue. We have finished 3 quarters of action here at the Swamp, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. The Florida Gators came out from the get-go, took command of this ball game, and we'll head into the final 15 minutes with a huge lead. The Gators 48, the Catamounts nothing, here on Sun Sports.
Chevy has the most full-size trucks that get an estimated 20 miles per gallon highway or better. So go on, live the full-size life. Learn more. Go to Yahoo and click Autos.
See your Southern Chevy dealers. Sun Sports presents Rivalry Weekend. Friday, it's Florida and FSU and women's hoops at 4. Then, stay tuned for Rec Warehouse College kickoff at 6:30 as we break down the rivalry showdown at the Doak. Saturday before kickoff, don't miss the Texas Pete Gators Seminole pregame for up-to-the-minute news. Then, after the Interstate Showdown, tune in for the Geico Gators Seminole postgame for the most complete wrap-up anywhere. Don't miss Rivalry Weekend, beginning Friday, only on Sun Sports.
Your guide to the ultimate adventure vacation is here. Destination Wild, presented by Jeep. Join host Courtney Hansen for the new series from Warren Miller Productions that takes you to the country's most thrilling vacation sites. On the next Destination Wild, we're off to Moab to take on the colossal terrain of the slick rock trails and an adrenaline-pumping dive from thousands of feet. Monday on FSN. Log on to DestinationWildTV.com and enter to win a Destination Wild trip of your own.
There are two boys of old Florida learning the routine. Gators 48-0 lead over Western Carolina. That was Nathan, Coach Meyer's little boy on the right. They're fired up. Head coach having a good relaxing day. I tell you one thing, this has not been a relaxing season for the faint of heart because the Gators have had so many tough competitive games go right down to the wire. Last week a perfect example of that, but this has been a relaxing day at the old ball yard. Florida scoring every time they've had the ball and pitching a shutout on defense. As good as it gets. Tebow fakes the swing pass, looks deep. He's got Cooper. Riley Cooper! Touchdown!
Well, Larry, for all of those critics that have questioned the ability of Tim Tebow to throw the football from the pocket and to put it on the money. I know this is Western Carolina, but he's still making the throws that are necessary, and it shows you that next year the Gators are going to be in good hands with Tim Tebow.
And there's an extra point for Jonathan Phillips, who's had a nice afternoon. After being idle most of the season, it's got to be a real kick for him. And for Cooper, who dropped one from Chris Leak earlier, his second TD catch. Got that one down by the pylon earlier, and that was the first deep ball. He's going to be a big part of the Florida receiving corps next year, a corps that loses for sure Dallas Baker and Jamel Cornelius.
Well, Riley Cooper's down at the bottom of the screen, right in here. And as you'll see, Tim Tebow does a good job of play action, little pump fake to the fade, and then Coop is able to split the safety in the corner, and this ball is perfectly thrown right on the money where Riley Cooper is able to catch it and get into the end zone. You get a receiver that wide open, the one thing you don't want to do is overthrow him. Even if you underthrow him, Larry, the receiver can come back and hopefully make a play on the football. But this ball is just perfect on the money, right on the hip. All he has to do is catch it and then stride into the end zone.
And you'll be happy he ran into the end zone. He didn't dive.
I love it when they don't dive.
We've got timeout on the field. The Gators, 9 seconds into the fourth quarter, have topped the 50 mark.
This is the best time of the year, and it's only at your Toyota dealer. It's Toyotathon, the perfect time to save on many of the Toyotas you've been wishing for. Get a great deal on Toyota's biggest truck ever, the Tundra Double Cab. Now get $4,000 cash back, plus the XSP Sport Package discount for a total savings of $6,000 on the 2006 Tundra Double Cab. The Toyotathon year-end sales event. Hurry, time is running out. This is the best time of the year, and it's only at your Toyota dealer. It's Toyotathon, the perfect time to save on many of the Toyotas you've been wishing for. Get a great deal on Toyota's biggest truck ever, the Tundra Double Cab. Right now, get an incredible 0% APR financing for 60 months on all new 2006 Tundra models. That's 0% financing for 60 months on all new 2006 Tundra models. the Toyotathon year-end sales event. Hurry, time is running out.
Chevy has the most full-size trucks that get an estimated 20 miles per gallon highway or better. So go on, live the full-size life. Learn more. Go to Yahoo and click Autos.
See your Southern Chevy dealers.
College basketball hits the floor on Sun Sports. Billy Donovan leads the Gators as they defend their national championship. Gator basketball, Friday on Sun Sports.
Nice coverage downfield for the Florida Gators on that kickoff. Western Carolina's had a lot of work on their kickoff return today, but they've not been able to get much of anything. I think the 28-yard line is the best field position they've gotten off a kickoff return. So Florida's kick coverage, which has been excellent all year, continuing to do so.
Getting good, I shouldn't say depth, but good height on those kickoffs, and that's allowing the coverage team to get down and make the tackle shorter than the 30-yard line.
Andy Horn, the quarterback, gives it to Fudge. Fudge will be dropped for a loss of 3. Before that carry, he had 999 yards on the season. He's now got 996.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do against the Gator defense is try and run sideline to sideline, because the linebackers run well. The defensive line, as big as they are, they all run well. And you're just not going to sort of, circle the defense. You've got to go up the middle if you're going to have success running against this Gator football program.
See the Gators digging in on the line of scrimmage on 2nd down and long. Officially just a loss of 2. Fudge hit as he tried to get outside the tackle, and he might have gotten a yard. Kyle Jackson rolling up there to make a hit.
Matter of fact, Kyle Jackson comes up, makes the hit, knocks Darius Fudge's helmet off. Once again, they line him up at the quarterback position, and they realize that at the quarterback position, he's not going to throw the football, so everybody is playing run, and they're just sprinting to the line of scrimmage at the snap of the football.
You see Kyle Jackson from Neptune Beach in the Jacksonville area, Fletcher High School. Fudge goes forward to about the 23, maybe the 24-yard line. And that'll get him right on that cusp again of getting to the 1,000-yard mark for the season. And that seems to be the one thing they hope to accomplish before the day is done.
And at some point, you get him that 1,000 and you get him out.
Before he loses another 5.
Well, but also it's been a rough day. He's had 3 ball games this year where he's worked hard and hasn't been able to put up a lot of yards. I think he only had 22 carries for 53 yards last ball game, and the one thing you don't want to do is take away the opportunity for him to reach that milestone.
Faison dropped the punt, but I think he got it back. And the officials think so too. So Jared Faison getting his first spot back there as the running back, quarterback, wide receiver, punt returner guy. And fortunately got it back. No turnover. We've got timeout here in Gainesville. The Gators 55-0.
Extra, extra! Papa John's Superman Pan Pizza is here!
It's big news. Papa John's Superman Pan Pizza, piled high with the works. 7 tasty toppings. Call now or order online and get a large Superman Pan Pizza for $12.99. $12.99, including a $3 coupon for Superman Returns on DVD.
Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's.
College football on Sun Sports is brought to you in part by your local Toyota dealers. Toyotathon is on. Visit your local Toyota dealer for a great deal today. And by Dixie Crossroads, famous for wild ocean shrimp, including their trademark specialty rock shrimp, the shrimp that tastes like lobster. A beautiful day in North Central Florida, and the University of Florida enjoying it on the field and throughout the community. Florida leading by a score of 55-0. The first time the Gators have reached the 50 mark under Coach Urban Meyer, but I dare to guess it won't be the last.
Not with this explosive players on offense we have.
There's Mon Williams, freshman from Texas, and Mon Williams goes forward for about 13 or 14 yards.
And just think, Larry, next year you've got Brandon James, Keyston Moore, Marcus Manson, and now Mon Williams. And big gaping hole for him to cut back. Good job coming back to his tackle, just working hard to get that block. And, you know, they'll all be fighting for that #1 position at the running back next year.
Williams just has such physical ability. He's got to learn the offense, especially things like blocking. But boy, can he run with the football. There he goes again. Williams inside the 30, takes it to the 29-yard line. That was good for 25 yards and a first down.
And I go back and I reiterate the fact, this is Western Carolina. But when you look at the athletic ability of Mon Williams and some of these guys that we've seen playing today, because they're getting an opportunity to play. Normally they don't get into the ball game. You're starting to see that the recruiting that has been done in the last 2 years of bringing in this type of talent is going to pay off in the future.
Williams, a third straight carry, a third straight big gain inside the 15. Mon Williams to the 10-yard line.
This time they go back over the left side. Last play they went over the right side. Good blocking, good double team there on the end man on the line. And then, you know, Mon Williams just lowers his shoulder and he takes Watson for a ride.
Mon Williams really had 2 good weeks of practice. He caught the eye of Dan Mullen because when the second team offense was going against the first team defense, he really was running hard the last 2 weeks, and Dan Mullen said, you know what, some freshmen, it just takes time for them. They learn how to practice hard, and once they do, they get on a roll. So he felt Mon Williams was starting to come into where he could get some playing time and do what he's been doing the last couple of runs.
Well, 3 carries, got the ball all the way down to the 10-yard line, but 15 yards on a dead ball personal foul, so the Gators have 1st and 10 at the 25, but Williams will get credit for his 3 runs, which totaled 58 yards. And he gets another carry. Tried to split defenders and got a couple of yards. Gator offense has been unbelievably sharp and efficient today.
Well, the Gators wanted to come out and score a lot of points. If you look at the first drive, you had a 26-yard touchdown run by Wynn, a 7-yard touchdown by Wynn on the second, facing with 3 rushes for 41 yards to set up the pass for a touchdown, and then Tim Tebow, 20-yard run for a touchdown. You got the half, you know, that's the only time they've been stopped. And then you get into Ingram with a 29-yard reception for a touchdown, as well as Tebow with Jared Faison for a touchdown. And then last but not least, Cooper, 55-yard touchdown reception. A lot of big plays today.
And the flag is thrown, the play clock running out. And sometimes wide receiver, quarterback, tailback, punt returner guy doesn't look at the play clock.
5-yard penalty, remains 2nd down.
Well, it took me so long to go through the.
Jared was waiting for you.
He was waiting for me to finish, you know. But I tell you, you know, when you look at the numbers they put up, Larry, and how many times they've moved the ball down the field, you would think they would be winning the battle of the time of possessions, but they've had so many big plays that starting the fourth quarter, Carolina was leading in the time of possession.
How about that? Of course, in the 90s, the Gators scored a whole bunch of points and never won time of possession because they scored so fast. Jared Faison, look at him set up the downfield block. Now a flag comes in at one of those downfield blockers, but Faison, using his blockers beautifully, took it inside the 15-yard line.
Getting up a little slow, but and a little gingerly. But I tell you what, he got cracked to the line of scrimmage by 2 guys that just bounced off.
During the run, holding, number 9 of the offense, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Replay 2nd down.
Can't call number 9. It's senior day. That's not very polite.
Here's another look at it. Tucks it in. He's trying to tuck in behind Covington, and He gets hit by two guys, spins out. Watch him set this block up. Now he jumps back outside. I didn't see the hole. I missed that one.
The ball ends up at the 23-yard line. Faison getting a little attention over on the sideline.
And well, Faison goes out. Who comes in? Tebow. He's only got 2 touchdowns rushing and 1 passing.
Marcus Manson on the carry, tries to break it outside. Close to the 20-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and about 5 for the Gators. Marcus from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Junior. In trouble again, battling for playing time, learn the offense, build up the kind of strength you need to be a running back in the SEC.
You know, and this is tough for him because, you know, when he first came in, he was a north-south runner. And with this spread offense, he's trying to get wide and, you know, just doesn't make the right decision as to when he's going to tuck it and go up top.
Tebow makes the right decision. The flag is thrown on the touchdown pass to Riley Cooper. And will he get to keep the hat trick?
Well, he's celebrating, so to me that says
pass interference, number 16 of the defense. Penalties declined, touchdown.
Pass interference, number 16, Anton George. And Riley Cooper gets the 3rd touchdown reception of the day. 1 from Chris Leak to start the ball game, and then here 2 in the second half from Tim Tebow.
What a terrific day Tebow's put together, both throwing and running with the football. And Jonathan Phillips, the heir apparent to the kicker job for 2007, and he's made his extra points today. And the Florida Gators have now cleared the 60-point mark midway through the 4th quarter in the Swamp.
Don't monkey around when it comes to auto parts. Hi, Harold Bennett for Bennett Auto Supply. If you're looking for quality parts at low prices, remember, Bennett Auto Supply has been serving South Florida for over 50 years. We carry a huge selection of foreign and domestic parts, including AC Delco, Goodyear, and other top brands. It's a jungle out there, so don't let just anyone go ape with your auto parts. Bennett Auto Supply. Our prices bring you in, but our people bring you back.
Well, the Gators having a big day in the Swamp, but no one's having a bigger day than Riley Cooper, the freshman wide receiver with 3 touchdown catches.
Well, if you want to be able to throw the skinny post, you're going to have to throw it around this guy right here. That's the Will linebacker, Travis Hill. Now watch, good route by Riley Cooper, but watch the guy that he's got to throw the ball around. And he got to have a strong arm. Outstanding throw that time by Tim Tebow, throwing around the linebacker, the weak side linebacker, but you got to get it there in a hurry because he's sitting back in his zone, read the coverage. It's called the skinny post to a skinny receiver, Riley Cooper.
Riley also a tremendous baseball player and is scheduled to help Pat McMahon's team perhaps this spring. But tell you one thing, you gotta like what you've seen out of him as a receiver today. 3 catches, 82 yards, 3 TDs. Gator kickoff will only carry to about the 13-yard line. And the return will be what it's been most of the day, somewhere between the 20 and the 30.
Looks like a scrum in the middle of the field.
That coverage team's got to be tired. You know, they've been running down a lot.
Well, here's another look. Tim Tebow goes back, sets his feet, slides up, and just zips this thing. Throws the ball low and inside where only his receiver can make the catch. Perfectly thrown. Look at the tight spiral on it. Beautiful.
It reminds me a little of Boomer Esiason. What a lefty arm Boomer had.
Yeah, but Boomer couldn't run like that. Boomer would try, but wasn't even close.
First down from the 26-yard line. And that play will lose about 4 or 5 yards as the Gators got in there with some strong defense.
There's another good look at it. Gator defense getting into the backfield. Good play. by number 99 for the Gators,
Latrell Alford.
Alford.
Yeah, from right here in Gainesville, walk-on defensive tackle, getting a chance to play. You saw in on the play as well. Jermaine Cunningham, freshman defensive end. They expect big things from. Cunningham's played a lot today. In the absence of Jarvis Moss. Gators, I think we're offside. Trying to time that blitz just right. Sometimes you don't.
There's Ryan Stamper. You know, he's coming on the blitz, and you know, he's in that neutral zone. But you know, if you're gonna make a mistake, Larry, make an aggressive mistake, so that, you know, so many times when guys know they're offside, they stop, and you give up the big play.
Right.
You want to force them to have to take that penalty, so you keep coming, and you continue to play football till you hear the whistle blow.
6 minutes, 10 seconds to play here in the Swamp. The Gators totally dominant over Western Carolina, 62-0. With the exception of a one-play possession at the end of the first half, the Gators have scored every time they've had the ball. 9 possessions, 9 touchdowns, 1 missed extra point. And they have held Western Carolina to 4 first downs, 2 via penalty. And there's the first sack, and I think Latrell Alford may get credit for it, as Andy Horn goes down for Western Carolina around the 22.
Here's another look, and this is just pushing the pocket. Everybody's coming in. You get a blitz from the weak side. Number 37, Marquis Anderson, comes in there and forces Horn to pull it down. Alford gets the sack.
From Eastside High School.
Timeout, Western Carolina. This is their first timeout in the second half.
And the Catamounts want to regroup, facing a 3rd and long at their own 22. 5:22 still to play here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium, Florida Field, where the Gators, ranked 4th in the nation, have had it all their way on Senior Day.
Come to the Checkers left side drive-thru for the Gators combo meal. When you eat, the Gators win, like in 1997, when you ate them to victory!
Go Gators!
No, come to the right side for the Knowles combo meal. Remember 2003? Knowles fans out-ate the competition.
Oh no!
Go!
Get your Gators or Knowles combo at Checkers. A half-pound double champ with cheese, large fries, and a large drink. For each one you buy, we'll donate to your school. See who's ahead at seewho'sahead.com. The more you eat, the more they'll win.
Chevy has the most full-size trucks that get an estimated 20 miles per gallon highway or better. So go on, live the full-size life. Learn more. Go to Yahoo and click Autos.
See your Southern Chevy dealers.
ACC Sunday Night Hoops returns with triple-header action. Last season, All-American Joakim Noah led an explosive Gator squad to their first-ever championship. Now, #1 ranked Florida has reloaded and looked to remain on top, but Florida State hopes an upset is in the cards. And Georgia Tech gears up for conference play against ACC rival Miami. ACC Sunday Night Hoops returns with a special triple-header December 3rd on FSN.
Your guide to the ultimate adventure vacation is here. Destination Wild, presented by Jeep. Join host Courtney Hansen for the new series from Warren Miller Productions that takes you to the country's most thrilling vacation sites. On the next Destination Wild, we're off to Moab to take on the colossal terrain of the slick rock trails and an adrenaline-pumping dive from thousands of feet. Monday on FSN. Log on to DestinationWildTV.com and enter to win a Destination Wild trip of your own.
College football on Sun Sports has been brought to you in part by your Southern Chevy dealers. Visit us today to find out why Chevy is America's #1 brand, #1 value. By Checkers, the official burger of the Florida Gators. And by Shands, UF and Shands, the science of hope.
When you go into the Swamp, that's different.
Gator fans really don't need help getting loud. They come to the stadium loud. They come, ready to go, amped up.
The history of Gator football. Gridiron Gators, you want that DVD. Great for the holidays, great for every fan's library. Go to GatorsDVD.com and check out that fantastic video. 100 years of Florida football. And Dwayne Thomas, great story. You just saw his comment there. Dwayne Thomas caught the interception that clinched the win over Florida State in '97. That year in the media guide, greatest moments, it said for Dwayne Thomas, hasn't happened yet. It did in his last game. That was his senior day. And what a moment that was. What a great upset for the Gators. Well, they used the timeout to decide to run up the middle, get nowhere, and kick it away. Officially, Darius Fudge listed at 44 yards, which would give him 1,001 for the season for the Western Carolina runner. So he will get that real estate, that amount of real estate he needed to reach that milestone, and good for him. He's had a tough year, really trying to carry this team.
Especially when you go through 5 quarterbacks. You know, it makes it very tough as a running back when there's no real threat of
there's a threat.
Football.
Jared Faison making some moves and ends up being tackled inside the 45-yard line. Another flag comes in after the play as we go down to Steve Babbitt.
Well, we've seen the big day by Riley Cooper at wide receiver, and part of that, the injury to Dallas Baker. Early in the first quarter, Dallas Baker injures a left knee and is out. And let's take a look at what Riley Cooper was able to do, maybe getting a few more plays because of the absence of Dallas Baker. We'll see Chris Slick find him in the flat. Riley gets the catch and turns it up across the end zone. And then one of the first two from Tim Tebow, just a great fly route. Riley Cooper beats his man and scores. And then Tebow hits him on that skinny post, sneaks the ball in there. Nice catch there by Riley Cooper. So perhaps the value of Riley Cooper may be going up because right now Dallas Baker getting that left knee checked, an MRI, and time will tell the status of Dallas Baker for next week and the week after. So keep an eye on number 86, Riley Cooper. His value just gone up.
Yeah, you wouldn't mind trading on Riley Cooper futures.
Riley is a similar type receiver as Dallas Baker. He's 6'3".
How about Mond Williams turning nothing into a play? He looked like he was going to lose 5 yards. Instead, he takes it down close to the 30-yard line, about a 13-yard gain, and we've got the injured veteran Mitchell Dukes on the field for Western Carolina.
Well, this play has nothing written all over it, but Mond Williams, with those fresh legs, is saying, you know, I don't get the ball much, and you know, I'm going to make something happen when I get the ball in my hands, as he reverses his field and picks up positive yardage once again.
This is a very highly recruited running back out of Texas, and he's showing us why today.
Well, he breaks it off the right side. He finds a gap, but has the ability to see the field exceptionally well. Looks for the cutback. This time he just shoots the gap, and very seldom will one guy be able to get him down. He drags people forward, and he doesn't shy away from competition or the hit. You know, just outstanding balance and athleticism. Changes the ball to the left hand to get the ball in the outside as he goes back to his left. Tell you what, he's got some talent.
Oh, yeah. Saw him a little bit in the preseason practices, and it's like, whoa, if he can learn it all and figure out what to do, again, the blocking and the other assignments when they check off and whatnot, he has electric talent. He really does.
And for the viewers, that's what you're looking for. Not just a guy that can run with the football, because during the course of the ball game, so many things change. As quarterbacks check off, you know, all of a sudden you got to make up for somebody else's blocking assignment. And if you don't know those things, you break down the continuity of the offense.
Well, the University of Florida will play host to the 2006 NCAA Volleyball Regionals December 8th and 9th right here in Gainesville in the O'Connell Center. Tickets are on sale now. You'll see 4 of the best teams in the country battle for a spot in the Final 4. So check it out, 1-800-34-GATOR, the NCAA Regionals, December 8th and 9th, Friday and Saturday. And we've got false starting all over and some jawing afterwards.
Prior to the snap, false start, 65 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
That's Kyle Newell out of Tampa Chamberlain.
Now you've got a couple guys out there that are actually walk-ons to the Gators football team getting a chance to play here. Brad Hires, 65, an offensive lineman from Bartow. You see him right there, Hires. 64, Kyle Newell, and that just mentioned, from Tampa Chamberlain. Gators first down and 15 from the 36. Mon Williams looking for running room. And again, they're kind of crowding the line now, inviting Florida to throw if they wish, but it's down to close to 3 minutes to go. The Gators unbeaten at home, and maybe their best effort against the LSU Tigers. Was Tebow something in that game, hitting Tate Casey with the jump pass, and then a nice hit down low. Who was it? Who was it? It's Riley Cooper. Gators turn that into a safety, and then Tebow fires one to Lewis Murphy. Youth was served that day, Nat. Nothing doing on that play for the Gators, and it'll bring up a third down and long inside 3 minutes to play.
And the fans are going wild because Tim Higgins got into the ball game. They lined him up at the tailback position and gave him the football. Tim Higgins is 5'7", 172-pound senior out of Northville, Michigan. And that's soaking wet with towels draped all over him.
Yeah, and a helmet on, and maybe the shoulder pads and a hip pad. But he works hard, practice after practice after practice, a lot of time on the scout team, and he got a pretty cool moment there, and a nice ovation from the crowd recognizing it. Gators just run up the middle. It'll be fourth down, and this will be the first true possession where they end up getting stopped, although I think the play calling has probably stopped them more than anything else. And Higgins comes back in. Throw it to him.
No, he's lining up in the receiver position. I mean, the tailback position. No, he's going out wide.
Yeah, throw it to him.
And I tell you what, for this young man, it's got to be the thrill of a lifetime.
Now they'll run it. Mon Williams. Williams has the first down inside the 20 down to the 16-yard line. I tell you, some of those offensive linemen and such getting in there. Derek Baldry, 89, feisty up front.
Yeah, just a good job of blocking. And remember, Larry, this is a very tired West Carolina football team. And when you're running in your third, fourth team, you know, they're fresh. They're fresh, and they are hungry.
There you go. Derek Baldry, his dad is a videographer right here at the stadium today for the Gators. Derek walking on from over at Santa Fe Community College. Went to high school at Buchholz in Gainesville. Well, if they run Mon Williams, he might have a 100-yard game. He needs 8 more. He's got the ball. He's got about half of those 8 yards he needs. But I suspect that will be the final snap of the afternoon, and it will be because Urban Meyer's already halfway across the field, so we don't have to wonder about that. A complete performance in every way, shape, and form for the Florida Gators this afternoon. A 62-0 Florida Gator victory. The play of the game is brought to you by Steak and Shake, famous for steak burgers. And for the play of the game, how about the electric freshman punt returner?
Well, Brandon James catches this punt, sets up the first block, and then splits the defense, and then shows you that electric speed as he gets isolated on the punter Mays one-on-one, and he's going to win that battle as he goes 77 yards for the touchdown.
His previous long that had counted was a 38-yarder, averaging 19. I mean, he's just had done a terrific job on punt return for the Gators this season, and nice to see one actually count for him. As they said, he averaged 8.7 on punt returns prior to that long one. Had a great day, over 150 yards on 6 returns for Brandon James. And we really got a snapshot of the future of Florida football, and that was maybe the best thing out of today. They did everything right, but so many young players really showed their ability.
Well, normally you get senior day, you expect to see the seniors, you expect to see them finish off their career, but with the injuries and with the things that are looming in the forefront, a lot of seniors didn't play much today. They're trying to get them healthy, get them ready for late in the year, but it gave us the opportunity to see the future, to see the young guys that are projected to be the starters and the backups for next year, and they did not disappoint this Florida crowd. Western Carolina, of course, was no match for this football team, but it just shows you that these young guys have so much talent, has so much athleticism that, you know, they're going to have another year, they're going to have another offseason, another spring to continue to grow and get better.
Mon Williams, 95 yards on 9 carries for him in his first extended playing time. Only carried the ball 4 times coming into this game and played some special teams, but Mon Williams is exciting.
Mon Williams was extremely exciting. So was Jared Faison. I mean, all of a sudden you say, well, can Tim Tebow throw the football? Well, we found out that today. Who's going to be the backup to Tim Tebow in this spread offense? We found out that Jared Faison is a guy that no matter whether they bring somebody in or not, they've got a quality backup that can play that quarterback position and run this spread offense. So a lot of questions answered, even though, as I have to keep saying, Western Carolina, of course, is not an Auburn or an Alabama, but I guarantee you these kids are going to continue to get better, and 4 years from now, we'll be talking about them on their senior day.
And we did focus in on him a little bit late, but Riley Cooper. As Florida looks for receivers for the future, because you know you won't have Baker, you won't have Cornelius. You wonder about Bubba Caldwell's future. So you're going to have young receivers step it up, and certainly Riley Cooper auditioned pretty well today.
Riley Cooper stepped it up and gave the Gators a chance to rest the outstanding receiver Percy Harvin a little bit more today. You know, normally you would expect him to play the whole game. They decided to rest him because he tweaked his ankle, so that he'll be healthy next week when we go to Tallahassee to play Florida State.
Well, when we talked about our storylines right at the top of the telecast, one of the things we pointed out was get healthy. I mean, no new injuries and let some guys rest up. Unfortunately, that part maybe not, depending on Dallas Baker. That was certainly one disappointing part about today's performance. The other was to cash in points. Last week, the offense moved the ball so well, but didn't cash in points. This day, the offense cashed in every scoring opportunity.
Well, and a lot of that was big plays, but when they really had to sort of bow their back and drive the football, get the short yardage, the tough yardage, they were able to do so. Coming into this ball game, already this year, the Gators had 54 plays of over 20 yards or better.
So a big day for the Florida Gators as they score 62. Let's go to the field. And
Coach, congratulations. Coach, congratulations. Another undefeated home season. I know it was very important for this senior class.
Really, I think it's 13 in a row just for the last 2 years, and I think 15 in a row. Those guys made a deal 2 years ago, and they held up their end of the bargain. Now we got to get ready for our rivals out west.
When you think about Florida football history, only the 10th time in the regular season, 10 wins.
Yeah, that's hard to imagine. Third time, I think, in the regular season. So we're playing for we got a lot of football left, and we're playing for a lot at stake in November, which is what we want.
Given your expectations for the game today, what did you think? How did things turn out?
I wanted a clean game. I wanted both teams to get out of here safe, and I wanted guys, and some young guys deserved an opportunity to play. Mon Williams, Riley Cooper, Faison, and then Jermaine Cunningham. We played a lot of young guys. We haven't had a chance to really do that this year.
Thank you, Coach.
You bet.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. We appreciate that, and we thank you for joining us here at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium for Senior Day. The Florida Gators, their last home game of the year, the last home game for 21 members of the senior class, and they do it in style, 62-0 over Western Carolina. We appreciate you joining us here at Sun Sports as the Gators file into the locker room. A big day for the orange and blue. Be sure to tune in tonight at 7 o'clock. As the Lightning square off against the New York Rangers. That's the Lightning at the Rangers from Madison Square Garden tonight at 7, only on Sun Sports. I want to thank our producer, Jerry Wetzel, our director, Jimmy Lee Starling Jr., and our entire crew for all their work. For Todd Lewis, Steve Babbitt, and Nat Moore, I'm Larry Vitale. So long from Gainesville.